check, check, check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, check, check.
Okay.
Hola, Macho, ¿qué tal? Oye, te habla Carlos que me queda de Anita para ver si me agarra. Estoy en una conferencia de prensa ahora. Por favor. Ahora van a hacer
Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Vamos a ver si eso ya después lo hablo con. Bueno, si la gente está además se quiere hablar conmigo.
Hi.
Dale. ¿Me lo quieres pasar? Claudia. Oye, estoy acá en la conferencia de prensa en Utah. Tengo por el canal.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Where'd you want me, Ken?
A la persona que pueda hablar ahí. Y por el canal 2 tengo a David Rivera. Cerrate el 2. Hablo por los 2. Último de todo. Uno, tres. Ese es el canal 2.
Yeah. Of course. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Voy a bajar igual, voy a matar el canal 2 por acá hasta que tú fuera a comer. Yo estoy conectado.
And it's Kate now, correct? Kate? Is it Kate still?
Dile que
Yeah, it's okay.
mira dónde estamos, que se chequee el tipo por lo menos. Can you do a mic check real quick?
Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check, mic check.
I don't really know anything.
1, 2, 3. Good morning. Good morning. This is a mic check from Orem, Utah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We good? Still need more? 1, 2. One more? Okay. Mic check. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. 1, 2,
Got it.
3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. You're welcome. Okay, one more mic check. 1, 2, 3. This is a mic check. 1, 2, 3.
That's right, John. We are on the
1,
campus.
2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
For an update, it is about 7 a.m. in the morning here. Coming up to 19 hours since Kirk was shot, and of course, as every hour passes, that's an extra hour for this suspect to
Mic
get
check,
further
1, 2.
away from this scene. Now, the FBI is appealing for any video, anything that can help them in this search. We know that there is security camera video of this suspect. We know that there is a lot of student shot video of a figure running on a roof, clad in dark clothing. We do not know for certain if that is the shooter. We also know that there are a number of crime scenes currently being analyzed by investigators. They say based on the movements that they know of both the victim and the suspect. We, as I say, expect to hear updates now. We don't know what we're going to hear. We are waiting to hear any second. Now, we know that the suspect wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle. That is all we have been told so far. And we believe that the shot was fired from the top of a building here on campus, about 200 yards, a direct line of sight to where Charlie Kirk was sitting under that little easy up tent in the courtyard. We know that there was police activity on the roof of that Losi building where that suspect, potential suspect, was seen. There was police tape, there was police activity. So that is what we are working with right now. But John, we expect to hear more, hopefully, within the next couple of minutes. John? Yeah. Yeah, correct. I mean, that's an unusual move for the director of the FBI to be making that kind of statement when this is being handled by FBI on the ground, but also by local law enforcement. We've also heard a lot from the governor here in Utah, who has taken a front position here. He has said that they are looking for one person. He says this is a political assassination, and he says that there is the death penalty here in Utah, and if this person is apprehended, the governor intimated that that is something that they would be pursuing. Of course, there's also the possibility here of federal charges that would supersede state charges. But yes, we are expecting to hear from the people on the ground who are actually directing this investigation, this manhunt, which, as they say, the longer it goes, the harder it can get. John? Yeah. All right, John.
Hi everyone, my name is Hillary Kellner. I'm the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. I just wanted to give you all a quick 5-minute warning. We are going to have the special agent in charge with the FBI as well as Commissioner Mason with DPS. So if you want to get that ready, this should be here in the next couple minutes. Thanks.
So could you tell us the names, please, and spell it?
Yes. Give me 1 second. Here, I'll be right back.
I know you did.
Hmm.
But did you tell them about it?
Yeah, sure did. No, I sure did.
Okay, is everybody ready for that spelling? FBI speaker is Special Agent in Charge, Robert Bowles, R-O-B-E-R-T, last name B-O-H-L-S. And then for the Utah Department of Public Safety, we have Commissioner Bo Mason, B-E-A-U, last name M-A-S-O-N. Anyone need me to repeat that? One more time. Robert Bowles, R-O-B-E-R-T, Bowles, B-O-H-L-S, and then Bo Mason, B-E-A-U, Mason, M-A-S-O-N. Everybody got that? Perfect. Hi everyone, my name is Hillary Kellner. I'm the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. Today we will have two speakers, one representing the state of Utah and one representing our federal agencies. They will be providing some updates as well as a recap of what happened here at Utah Valley University yesterday. We will be able to take a couple of questions after they are done speaking, but it will be short in order to stay in tune with the president speaking at 9:45. So I'll go ahead and introduce Commissioner Bo Mason.
Good morning. I am Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. I'd be remiss if we didn't start off today and recognize the significance of the day. Historically on 9/11, law enforcement has come together as a group to recognize and honor those that sacrificed to preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country. And instead we find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country. Just to recap yesterday's events, at around 12:20 p.m., political influencer Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University participating in a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they face scrutiny, they face threats. We asked the public to be patient with the investigative process. These individuals were not suspects, they were people of interest. We ask that you do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock. All day yesterday, through the night last night, investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., this subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we are confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately. Last night I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that. Our state has gone through a lot, and we will come out successful. With that, I'll turn the time over to Special Agent Bowles. Charge.
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the Special Agent in charge of the Salt Lake Field Office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners. We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case and the shooter until we find him. We also continue to grieve with the family and the community. It's our community. If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them to our digital media tip website at www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley Shooting. You can also call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. We truly rely on the public's help in these types of cases, and no tip is too small or insignificant. Thank you.
Commissioner James Matthews from Sky News. Can I ask about the shooter? There's clearly information about him or her. You say you're confident at this stage in terms of tracking down who they are. Can you talk to us about their movements, their demeanor? Do you think it's a man? And also, can I ask, what were the security arrangements in place? Was that roof being monitored? It's a question.
Absolutely. So what I'll release about the suspect is suspect blended in well with a college institution. We're not releasing many details right now, and we will soon, but right now we're not. But that individual appears to be of college age. We are confident in our abilities to track that individual. If we're unsuccessful in identifying them immediately, we will reach out for the public's help and the media's help in pushing those photos. That was a new development overnight, working through the night, studying those cameras. So that's something that's new and that we're working through right now. As far as the security, I cannot speak to that. Neither the Department of Public Safety nor the Federal Bureau of Investigation was involved in the planning or security of this event, and that'll have to be a question later for other agencies.
Do you believe that the suspect could be hiding in the woods, and is that suspect possibly still in this area?
So that's a good question, and it's a question that goes to the safety of the community, right? No, not in those woods. We walked through those woods and secured it. As to the community, I can tell you that this was a targeted event. We don't believe that the community is at risk. However, we are exhausting every resource to find him, and we will do so.
Mr. Bowles, you say that you've got...
Speaking of the BBC, from the images you have, can you see clearly the suspect's face? You say he's college aged, you believe he was from this university, and how far do you think he may have gone in this time span?
So I can't comment specifically on his face or any details such as that, as it's continuing to be a part of the investigation, and again, we'll release that shortly. However, we're doing everything we can to find him, and we're not sure how far he's gone yet.
And you do believe it's a male?
Is there image of his face?
We have images of the suspect.
So between those images and the gun that you've been able to recover, do you believe you know who this person is, the person that you're looking for at this point?
Again, as part of the investigation, we're not releasing any details such as that. Right?
Any fingerprints or DNA?
We are exhausting all of our resources to be able to collect those, but that's, again, part of the investigation.
And you
How
said
did the
he-
suspect get on the roof?
Excuse me?
You said you found the weapon. Have you been able to trace back the owner of that weapon or who purchased it?
We are working on that, but again, part of the investigation. Right?
Agent Bowles, there's been a lot of turnover at the FBI. Do you think that's impacting the investigation at all?
Not at all. We've got complete and total support from everyone, from the director on down, and it's been an incredible supportive environment so far.
Are tweets like the one yesterday useful though, where we announced that there's a suspect in custody?
All I can say is that we're working the investigation the best we have with the environment we're getting.
Those are all the questions for right now. See if you have any.
Just clarifying, you said he, so you believe it is him? Okay, great.
Brand new information came out in that press conference. Let's break it down for everyone, John.
So first, we learned the gender. This is a man. They've referred to him as he over and over again, of college age. They said they have images of this person on camera, but they're working with their technologies to identify the person. They're not going to release those yet to the public unless that technology can't perform an actual ID. We also were in Kelly those the chilling moments of when the person arrived on campus at 11:52, and then less than 30 minutes later the shooting happened, and they left the campus and went into a wooded area there in Utah County.
I want to hit on that again. It's interesting. So police say they confirmed that the suspect arrived on or near campus at 11:52 yesterday morning. They went through a stairwell, climbed onto the roof. Then they said after the shooting, the suspect jumped off the building and then fled into a nearby neighborhood, which seems to be a wooded area, adding that overnight, the weapon has been found in a wooded area near the campus. Just looking at my notes here, they say they do have footprints and some other things they are currently analyzing as well.
Yeah, footprint, a palm print, and also a forearm print. They're analyzing the gun to see if they can trace it back to an owner. So they are working on that. They said they're working around the clock to get those clues. But again, not much information on terms of the identity of the shooter. Again, they said they have the person's face on video, but they are working with their technologies to try to put that face to a person.
And to that point, although they did say they have very good images, they would not release if they actually know who this suspect is. They also would not confirm if they've traced that weapon back to a registered owner. So they said, you know, obviously people, the public, needs to be patient with the investigation. We are continuing to follow the assassination of Charlie Kirk here on Good Day Utah. So much more to come this morning. Stay with us.
Want to know the hardest part of grocery shopping? It's that I'm never just grocery shopping. I'm kid wrangling and deal hunting. That's why I go to Macy's. I can't beat the value or the ice cream. It's called Happy Shopping. You should try it.
Fan X Salt Lake, the once-a-year event, is back. Fan X is coming your way September 25th through the 27th. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Fan X is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at fanxsaltlake.com.
They sure grow up fast, don't they?
Yeah. You can believe we'll be paying for college soon?
Yeah, but how? Alex! I knew he'd show.
I was just thinking about ways we can keep that college fund growing.
He does this a lot, huh?
All the time.
Swing by. Let's talk.
This guy's always there for me.
And this is not surprising to you?
Nah.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors.
Astronaut's cool, but have you considered being a banker? Fair enough.
A blind spot that's never out of sight. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Get a Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid for 1.99% APR or lease a Tucson SE for $272 a month. See your Utah Hyundai dealer.
Any Hour Services has a team of technicians that can take care of any plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning needs you might have around your house. Got a drain that's clogged? Call Any Hour Services. Need a ceiling fan installed? Call Any Hour Services. Air conditioner not working? Call Any Hour Services. Maintenance, repair, or install, any job, any size, Any Hour Services. Mention this ad and take $50 off your next visit. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Want to know the hardest part of grocery shopping? It's that I'm never just grocery shopping. I'm kid wrangling and deal hunting. That's why I go to Macy's. I can't beat the value or the ice cream. It's called Happy Shopping. You should try it.
Fox 13 Traffic Watch brought to you by We Win Injury Law.
Somebody shot him right in the heart.
While the suspect is at large, we believe this was a targeted attack. Nothing I say can unite us as a country. Nothing I can say right now can fix what is broken. Nothing I can say can bring back Charlie Kirk.
Right now, an urgent manhunt continues in the state of Utah as police are looking for the person who killed political activist Charlie Kirk. As you just heard a couple minutes ago, right here on Fox 13 News, police say they do know that the shooter was of college age and who blended in very well at the UVU campus.
They also said they've recovered what they believe to be the murder weapon, which was a high-powered rifle. They're now processing that for any clues into its origin, who owned it, where it came from. We hope to learn more throughout the day here as that investigation continues.
Fox 13 News reporter Maya Constantino is looking at rebuilding a sense of safety this morning at schools following this frightening incident and knowing that the shooter is still at large.
But first, let's get caught up on what just happened at that press conference with our very own Tina Giuliano. She is standing by for us live in Orem. And Tina, we received a plethora of new clues that the FBI is working with this morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We just learned a lot of information here at this press conference. Now, I want to share the biggest thing is finding this suspect. They, like you said, they know that he is college age, and they did confirm, they said he, and the other thing that they said is that they have his palm print, his forearm imprint. They're analyzing that right now, and they're working through the night. They have so many people on this investigation. And so then also the other big part of this is that they found that what is believed to be the weapon, a high-powered bolt-action rifle, and it was found in a wooden area. Now, the special agent wants to emphasize that there's no threat to the public. They searched that wooded area because one of the questions that we had as reporters was, is he in this wooded area here? And he confirmed that they searched the woods and secured that area. So they will release more information about what they have seen about the suspect, has been very helpful to this investigation, but they aren't going to release that as of right now. They're using technology and they're analyzing that image as we speak. And so what they could tell us is that the subject did blend well with a college institution, that he was of college age. He was wearing all black, and he went up to through the buildings, went to the roof, and when everything happened, he just jumped off and fled the scene. And he entered the neighborhood, is what the commissioner and the FBI special agent Bowles said today, that he fled into the neighborhood. The special agents and police that investigated just went through that neighborhood, contacting neighbors and securing that area as well, and finding out more information. Now, the other thing I just want to add is that they are still looking for more tips. If you have tips, they want you to send them to photos, videos, anything, to send them to fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting. And so we're still waiting to hear more information about the suspect, but for now, I'm sending it back over to you guys.
Tina, thank you again. They said no tip is too small. And while the FBI did say this morning they don't believe there's a threat to the public, they said this is Target. I think there's still some uneasiness in the neighborhood here in Utah County because the person who committed this act is, again, still on the run. And that's why there is some heightened security measures being taken today at area schools. Yeah, Maya Constantino has been breaking down the security in place this morning as moms and dads send their children to school. You know, it's normal, I would say, to have some uneasiness when we've all witnessed this traumatic event, and our children as well, seeing videos circulating on social media. Maya, tell us, what are schools doing this morning to help out fellow Utahns?
That's exactly right. I mean, after the shooting, there's a sense of unease across the state this morning for students and their families. Utah Valley University has canceled classes for the rest of the week. Brigham Young University and the University of Utah say they will have increased security on campus over the next few days. We spoke with many young college students who were there when the shooting happened and the intense emotions that came in the moments afterwards.
I don't feel safe anymore for the fact that someone can walk around campus with a gun in their backpack. It's kind of crazy.
You know, here in Utah Valley, like, who would have thought? And like she said, the fact that someone could just walk in with a gun and start shooting, like, that's a little bit jarring to know that, you know, we have to go to school next week. Like, that's crazy.
I think it creates many feelings of fear. And when something like this strikes so close to home, you really begin to question, even if you weren't there, oh, I know someone who was there, or I could have been there.
The Alpine School District placed 5 of its schools in secure status yesterday in the first few hours after the shooting. That means students were brought inside and the doors were locked. School officials tell us they'll have counselors to provide support for students today. You know, if you're struggling with your own mental health right now after this tragedy, the state crisis hotline is always available. Just call 988. There's a professional that will be available that you can connect with and can provide support and help. Back to you guys. Thank you.
Cannot encourage you enough to reach out to that free number, free service, 988. if you just need somebody to talk to. Besides that free service, there are many therapy groups here in the state of Utah who are wanting to do something to help their community.
Of course, it's having an effect on many people and their mental well-being. That's why it's important to take a moment and check in on yourself. Also, maybe check in on your kids as well, because we saw so much on social media yesterday that really no one should ever have to see. We're joined now by Brady Clegg, the CEO of Tangible Mental Health. He joins us now to talk about some of the tools to help in this difficult time. Brady, good morning. Thanks for being with us today. And again, social media yesterday was just an awful place to be with these videos of this horrible violence. So I guess my question to you is what can you do to I don't want to say move past it, but to help yourself in this time of mental strife?
Of course, yeah. Thank you guys for having me on to be able to talk about this, because I saw the videos, and I know that many other people did, and obviously it was a terrible, terrible tragedy, and these are things that we're not meant to see, right? Our brains aren't meant to process this. The diagnosis of PTSD is people who have PTSD can develop from people who have experienced the sensation of being close to death, as well as people who have witnessed it, right? And so this is something that is a tremendous concern, as all the people that were at the event yesterday, both who were in attendance and who were on campus, experiencing that. And so my invitation is for people to seek out support with their loved ones and community. There's lots of free mental health services, myself included, but I know many practitioners across the valley are offering free services for anybody who needs a chance to just talk about and process what happened.
Brady, I want to stick on that for a moment. We're saying, we saw that graphic video, and as difficult as it is, we are adults. It's a sign of the times with social media. Young kids seeing that extremely graphic video. That's something I battled with my own family. I had teenage boys, and then I have a 12-year-old son, and that video got out fast and furious again. So graphic in nature. How do you know when your kids may be struggling silently? Should we as parents be asking those questions, trying to get a glimpse into what is perhaps going on in their little mind?
Of course, yes. If you have kids who have social media or have access to a phone, right? Like, this is something that circulated, like you said, so quickly. Definitely be checking in with those kids and asking questions about the event, like how much did you hear, how much did you see, what kind of feelings did that bring up for you, helping them to be able to explore and process and explain what happened, I think is very critical for these kids. And like I said, even not seeing the event in person, but seeing the event on social media can cause the same PTSD symptoms in anybody, but especially in kids, regardless of if they saw it firsthand. And so it's really important that parents be checking in with their children.
Good information. I will do that.
Brady Clegg, the CEO of Tangible Therapy and also a therapist himself, joining us this morning live from Orem. Brady, again, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate all you do for the community to help during these very, very difficult times.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
You take care. We are continuing to follow the assassination of Charlie Kirk right here on Fox 13's Good Day Utah. We brought you that press conference about 20 minutes ago in its entirety. So much information coming out from that press conference. We are still standing by this morning. We have confirmed Vice President J.D. Vance is on his way to Utah. We do not know yet when he will actually arrive or what his agenda is for the day. We are working to find out more. We do have a crew live at the airport. We will stay on top of this, and please stay with us throughout the morning as well.
Let's get you over to your weather forecast for this Thursday morning. And Damon, so far it's shaping up to be a pretty sunny day.
It's looking good. Yeah, we've got a beautiful morning. This is a live glance from the Okra Mountain camera right across Tooele Valley. Temperature isn't going to climb quite as high as the last couple of days, but it will still be a warm September day. In fact, it looks like we'll peak in the low to mid 80s along the Wasatch Front this afternoon, which is pretty close to average for this time of year. And topping our Day Planner Plus, perfect opportunity to take advantage of those more comfortable temperatures is at the Utah State Fair. In fact, it looks like temperature even by lunchtime will be in the upper 70s. So if you want to get in some fair food, it's going to be feeling pretty comfortable for you. Low 80s by around 4 p.m. and then later this evening, still mild in the mid 70s, but becoming mostly cloudy by then. Out ahead of that, weather system will be moving in tomorrow. Out ahead of that, we'll still get some wind out of the south, but it's expected to be the strongest over southern and eastern Utah. And some of those winds might be gusting up to 35 miles per hour. So besides an increase in fire danger, we could get some areas of blowing dust. We'll have a slight chance of some showers and thunderstorms along the Wasatch Front Friday and Saturday. They're not very likely, but they are possible. Main impact of the storm is to knock the temperature down. So it'll start to feel a little bit like fall with a high of 77 on Saturday, but then by Sunday, sunny and warming up into the low 80s. Take a look at what next week looks like coming up in just a few minutes.
We've just arrived at the Salt Lake City International Airport, where we are awaiting the arrival of Vice President J.D. Vance. We'll tell you what we know about his anticipated arrival coming up.
And we're working around the clock to bring you the latest information on this story as it continues to develop today. We are still less than 24 hours since this awful violence transpired in Orem on the campus of Utah Valley University. We have learned more about the suspect this morning as officials try to identify the man they think is responsible for doing this. When we come back, we'll have more on our coverage of the assassination of Charlie Kirk right here on Good Day Utah.
And Special Forces.
The weak do not belong. So you're going to get a crash course of what it's like to be in our reality.
Let's go!
You will potentially die.
Concentrate on staying alive. I can't breathe, I can't breathe. I'm staying.
Savings. Big O savings. Get up to $120 in savings on select Michelin tires with installation purchase. Plus, 0 interest if paid in full within 12 or 6 months. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Bathfitter makes it easy to remodel your bath or shower.
We offer a beautiful selection of tubs and showers, or convert your tub to a shower.
Call now for a free estimate and receive up to $1,000 off or financing as low as $100 a month.
It's better with Bathfitter.
Get happy with Happy Valley Clinic. Call 833-ED-NO-FUN.
Can you believe we'll be paying for college soon?
Yeah, but with what? Alex, I knew he'd show.
I was just thinking about ways we can keep that college fund growing.
This guy's always there for me.
Cool.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank.
Look closely at this truck. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. The Ford F-150. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Now get this low zero-down lease on a built Ford Tough F-150 for just $479 a month, only at your local Ford stores.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back. And Dave here is spreading the joy.
High five. Hey.
It's 5 years of lightning fast gig speeds.
High five.
5 years of advanced security. And 5 years connected on our ultra reliable network.
High five.
All at a great rate. Lock in your price for 5 years today.
5 years?
That's the 5-year price lock guarantee. Only for a limited time. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
RC Willey has everything you need to make your home more comfortable, from cozy sofas to stylish bedroom sets. Our wide selection helps you personalize your space, one piece or one room at a time. And with our low price guarantee, you can buy with confidence and make your home your way today.
Join us for the Gift of Life Walk Run, September 20th at 8 a.m. in Liberty Park. Register with code FOX13 to get $13 off.
If you're looking for a winning team, look no further than Big O Tires. We'll get you into the driving game with the lowest prices every day. And with multiple financing options available, you'll always be on the winning side. Only at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Day Utah on this 9/11 day, a very somber day for many reasons here across our state and the nation. Here's a live look at the Salt Lake City International Airport. We expect the Vice President, J.D. Vance, to arrive here sometime this morning. We have not been given an ETA of when his plane may touch down, but we are told that he canceled his plans to visit the 9/11 Memorial in New York City to instead come out here to Utah to pay his respects to Charlie Kirk and his family. Of course, Kirk murdered yesterday on the campus of Utah Valley University.
I do want to let everyone know, you might have caught it as well in the news conference we brought you live here on Fox 13. We have been told that yesterday when Charlie Kirk was brought to the hospital last night, his body was moved to the medical examiner's office. And then we were told that today, Charlie Kirk's body will be returned to his family sometime today. Fox 13 News reporter Darian DeBrule is live this morning at the Salt Lake City International Airport awaiting Vice President J.D. Vance. We have confirmed that he is now on his way to Utah. Darian.
Yeah, guys, we're here on the southwest side of the Salt Lake City International Airport, and behind me is the runway that we are expecting Air Force 2 to come down and land when the Vice President arrives. Although, just like you guys just said, we don't have an exact timing on when his arrival is expected, but we are here and in place when that comes. As far as the Vice President's relationship with Charlie Kirk, J.D. Vance posted to X yesterday, writing things like, quote, "Charlie Kirk was a true friend." He then went on to say, "I was in a meeting in the West Wing when those group chats started lighting up with people telling Charlie they were praying for him. And that's how I learned the news that my friend had been shot." He then concludes by saying, "Now that Charlie is in heaven, I'll ask him to talk to the big man directly on behalf of his family, his friends, and the country he loved so dearly." So that kind of paints a picture of the relationship that the Vice President did have with Charlie Kirk. Again, we now know the news that the Vice President, J.D. Vance, is on his way to Utah. Air Force 2 will be touching down. Again, we don't have an exact time on that, but we are in position awaiting his arrival. We are expecting him to arrive on this runway here behind me at the Salt Lake City International Airport. Back to you guys.
All right, Darian, you were there live, and we will bring it to everyone as it happens. Of course, we are on top of all the major developments in the assassination of Charlie Kirk here in Utah yesterday on the campus of Utah Valley University. It has been a fluid morning. We had that press conference. We certainly learned a lot of information from that. One being, police say that they have good information. In fact, very good video with clear pictures of the suspect. However, they are not releasing any of those photos at this time to uphold the investigation. They're asking the public to please be patient. Stay with Fox 13 News, both on air and online at fox13now.com.
Well, it is 7:49 on Thursday morning, and off to a mild start in Salt Lake. It's 65, although it's a little cooler than it was yesterday at this time, which might be fantastic news for folks that are working outside, feeling a little bit better. But in Park City, 42, so you definitely need a jacket or sweatshirt when you head out. Farther south, low 70s in Green River and Moab, 66 right now in St. George. In Salt Lake, it's going to be another beautiful day, mostly sunny, not quite as warm, but our temperature is expected to climb up to 84. And you can see on the regional forecast that a lot of other northern valleys will be hovering pretty close to that, which is average for this time of year. So we have cooled off, but we're not too far off the mark for this point in September. Temperature is going to be climbing to 79 in Tooele this afternoon. We'll have a little bit of a breeze going out of the south. It'll pick up later today, possibly a few gusty winds if any isolated thunderstorms pop up, which could happen in the northern valleys, but that would mainly be along and over some of the higher terrain of the north. Farther south, western Utah, it's not going to be as windy as yesterday, but you will have some southwest winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Warm up into the low 80s in a lot of the valleys through the central part of the state, as well as in Price and Vernal, near 90 in Green River and Moab. Eastern Utah, partly cloudy, better chance of some thunderstorms developing, especially over the mountains. Some of those would likely just bring some strong gusty winds, but heavy rain is possible. And with that being the case, that flood potential has risen a little bit. It's possible at Arches, Canyonlands, Natural Bridges, as well as San Rafael Swell. And some of the storms might pop up over the higher terrain of southeast Utah, but in the southwest, it'll be mostly sunny. You'll get that wind out of the south at about 15 to 25 miles per hour and climb up to 90 in St. George, mid 80s in Kanab, in Bryce Canyon looks like you peak at 72. And in St. George, it's going to be looking good for the next several days. Feeling pretty comfortable as well. It'll be warm, but not getting too hot. In fact, temperature will drop into the upper 80s on Friday and Saturday. And then by the middle of next week, you'll make it back into the mid-90s. In Salt Lake City, it's going to be partly cloudy Friday and Saturday. We'll have a slight chance of some thunderstorms as what's left of that slow-moving storm moves through. But the main impact will be for the temperature to continue to drop. It's going to be 80 on Friday, upper 70s on Saturday, and then we'll warm up and dry out by the end of the weekend.
Kick off the season with Signer savings, like up to $3,000 off MSRP on new Kia Sorentos. Row after row, in stock, at the #1 Kia dealer in Utah, Jerry Signer Kia, Salt Lake.
If you give a child a book, you give them a tool to learn and grow.
Studies show that having lots of books at home is one of the best ways to help a child succeed in school and beyond.
Donate today at any Cypress Credit Union branch.
Or text Fox 13 Reads to 50155. Scan this code or go to fox13now.com/giveabook.
Write a happy ending in a child's development.
And give a child a book.
Thank you from Cypress Credit Union and Fox 13.
Dear First Place, experts agree Toyota value can't be beat. Drivers agree Toyota quality rides long and strong. Add hybrid choices like no other, and you'll win the long game by a country mile. Toyota.
Right now, get 1.75% APR financing or $3,000 cash back on Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
This is the Temper Active Breeze. It's designed to help sleepers with different climate needs rest comfortably all night. So no more fighting over the AC or the covers. Because the Temper Active Breeze smart bed delivers a sleep temperature range of up to 30 degrees and helps you and your partner get the personalized comfort you need for the deep, undisturbed rest you deserve.
Get a free $300 gift when you purchase any Tempur-Pedic. Plus 72 months no interest. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Harry Potter, the exhibition leaves Salt Lake City on September 21st. Earn points for your favorite Hogwarts house by brewing potions, practicing your Quidditch skills, and casting spells. It's the last chance to encounter behind-the-scenes iconic movie moments and get up close with original props and costumes. Closing September 21st. This exhibition won't be here for long, so get your tickets to come celebrate the filmmaking magic of Harry Potter in an unforgettable way. Get your tickets before it's too late at harrypotterexhibition.com.
It's back to school savings time. Get up to $2,000 off MSRP on new Kia Sportages. Over 150 to choose from. At the #1 Kia dealer in Utah, Jerry Signer Kia, Salt Lake.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Day Utah. It is 7:54 now. This is a live look at the Salt Lake City International Airport. We are expecting the arrival of Vice President J.D. Vance sometime this morning as he travels to Utah to pay his respects to Charlie Kirk, who of course was killed yesterday on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem. Just moments ago in this hour, we learned that police, FBI, and the Department of Public Safety, they are pursuing a suspect who they captured on camera, tracking that person's steps through the campus before they committed this act of violence. They've recovered a suspected gun that they believe was used in the shooting, as well as a handprint, a forearm print, and also possible footprints.
Police also noting that they believe this was a targeted attack, going to the extent of saying that there is no public or community concern right now. Despite that,
there
I know
are
it's a tough morning for
anxious
many people.
feelings, right? I mean, this is really close to home. It is home for us.
So
and
close to home, which is staggering to me, right?
Yeah.
And I
Much
know
too
that's
close.
something you hear time and time again with horrific tragedies throughout the country. Like, I never thought it could happen here, someplace I know so well, someplace that I've walked.
Right, yeah. And so for our poll today, we just want to connect with you guys. We want to know, how are you feeling? Sit with your feelings, share them with us if you're comfortable, because we're likely experiencing probably the same ones.
Yeah, I want to take it a step further. You know, how are you feeling? And, you know, maybe words of encouragement. You know, what you would tell a friend or a family member who may be feeling really empty inside this morning. We'd love to hear it.
It's so sad. We've said over and over again over the past month, this doesn't happen here. This is the second or third time we've said that these events don't happen in Utah, and sadly it's happened. We had the shooting of the 2 officers in August, and now this here this week.
It's been a heavy couple months.
It has just been awful.
It's staggering. We will continue to follow yesterday's events as well as all the developments that have taken place this morning, and we're awaiting the arrival of Vice President J.D. Vance. That's all coming up in our 8 o'clock news hour.
And we'll also talk to a former FBI agent on what happened yesterday to get his thoughts on what the FBI is doing right now to find the person who they believe assassinated Charlie Kirk. We'll be back after the break.
Kick off the season with Signer Savings. Pay 0 down and make no payments for 90 days on new in-stock GMCs. It's this month only at Jerry Signer GMC, South Jordan.
At Smith's, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Smith's shoppers never compromise. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
Capability inside and out. How it should be. The Hyundai Santa Fe.
Get 0% APR on a Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid, or lease a Santa Fe SEL for $363 a month. See your Utah Hyundai dealer.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because we know it's more than a new home. It's really him. It's a new journey.
Welcome to the neighborhood, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Whoa.
And when you feel protected, you can dream fearlessly.
Go long.
Bundle home and auto and save up to 40%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Meet this year's senior class, back together and most likely to get protected with mNEXSpike, a new and different COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna for adults 65 and older. These seniors chose mNEXSpike because it targets the virus differently to provide a robust immune response at a lower dose. mNEXSpike is a COVID-19 vaccine for people 65 and older. You shouldn't get mNEXSpike if you've had an allergic reaction to a previous Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Rare cases of inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining have been reported. The most common side effects are injection site pain, tiredness, headache, muscle and joint pain, chills, nausea or vomiting, swelling or soreness under the arm. These seniors are celebrating homecoming with a lower dose COVID-19 vaccine that helps them enjoy their time together. Like it's senior year all over again. mNEXSpike, the new COVID-19 vaccine by Moderna for the senior class. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about mNEXSpike.
At Smith's, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Smith's shoppers never compromise. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
I think it's the way that they go out of their way to help the customer, to explain things, their upfrontness.
That's Jerry Signer GMC, South Jordan.
There's a shooter, and then all these kids started running into our classroom.
This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
Chaos and tragedy have rocked Utah County and the nation as the murderer of Charlie Kirk is still on the loose this morning.
Just in the past 24 hours, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at Utah Valley University national newspapers, including the Wall Street Journal and USA Today, and now the AP reporting that President or Vice President J.D. Vance is heading to Utah today to pay his respects.
We do have a crew at the airport awaiting the Vice President's arrival. A news reporter, Tina Giuliano, she is live at UVU this morning. We carried a press conference. You saw it in its entirety shortly after 7 o'clock this morning. Tina, you were there still digesting all the information we've been giving. Some new overnight developments.
Information that just came down, and we're, like you said, still digesting all of it, but let me break down some of that for you. They talked a little bit about it. It was the DPS Commissioner Bo Mason and Special Agent Bowles that are on this investigation and giving us the information. Now, they were telling us about the suspect, that the suspects that were in custody and were released have no connection anymore to this shooting, and they emphasized how those people faced backlash and scrutiny, but they just want patience with this process. Now, talking about the suspect in question, they have a lot of video of this suspect's face. They aren't releasing it at this time because they want to use technology to identify this man, and if not, then they will release it to the media. So we actually have some sound from that press conference telling us about the suspect.
We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was.
Yeah, for these students, they were dealing with a lot, especially because they saw everything happen. And so the class is right now canceled for today here at UVU. And some of the other information that came out during this press conference was that they found the weapon. The weapon that was used to murder Charlie Kirk was it was a high-powered bolt-action rifle. They found it in a wooden area, and they secured that wooden area, so the police and officials say that there's no threat to the public at this point. So that's some of the information that we learned from this press conference. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Tina, did they say anything if this person potentially acted alone, or is there a second suspect possibly, or do you think this is a lone gunman?
They were talking about this. Is one of the questions that we had. At one point, the commissioner did say anybody that assisted, they're definitely looking for, but they said right now it's one suspect. This was a targeted attack against Kirk.
Tina Giuliano live on the campus of UVU this morning, recapping that news conference we heard in its entirety here on GDU shortly after 7 a.m. this morning. Tina, thank you so much. Another thing that was mentioned in that conference, John, did you catch it? 130 tips have been received by the FBI in regards to yesterday's shooting. And although FBI agents say they do have very clear pictures of the suspect, they are not being released to the public at this time due to the integrity of the investigation. The public is being asked to please be patient as investigators do what they do best as they track this murderer.
And of course, they said this was what they believe a targeted incident and that there is not a threat to the public right now. But I think even with that, Kelly, with that reassurance, maybe a lot of families and parents and kids as well feeling a bit uneasy today because of the violence that took place yesterday.
Yeah, Maya Constantino joining us live. She's in Utah County this morning with a look at safety measures moving forward today. Maya.
Good morning, guys. That's exactly right. I mean, there is a sense of unease across the state this morning for parents, for their loved ones, for their students. And, you know, Utah Valley University has canceled classes for the rest of the week. Brigham Young University and the University of Utah say they will have increased security on campus over the next few days. We spoke with many young college students who were there when the shooting happened and the intense emotions that came in the moments afterwards.
Everything just happened so fast and everyone was running and screaming, saying get down. It just didn't feel real in the moment. especially like the blood. I'm still really shaken up.
I immediately just couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing, but like a few seconds after, I just quickly got down. I realized that it was all real and super scared.
The Alpine School District placed 5 of its schools in secure status yesterday in the first few hours after the shooting. That means students were brought inside and the doors were locked. School officials tell us they'll have counselors to provide support for students today. If you are struggling with your mental health after this tragic event, please call the State Crisis Hotline at 988. There are professionals available to help and to support. Back to you guys. Thank you.
Maya, thank you. A big reason why the tragedy has rocked the nation is because of the impact that Kirk had on the political sphere.
Yeah, he is being called a force. Fox 13 News investigative reporter Taylor Stevens took a closer look at the legacy Charlie Kirk is known for. Taylor joining us live now in studio.
Now, 31-year-old Charlie Kirk died doing exactly what caused him to rise to the public eye in the first place, rallying young people with an appeal to Christian conservatism. Kirk was the founder of youth organization Turning Point USA and would place attention on what the group called liberalism on college campuses. Kirk frequently went to college campuses to engage in debate with students who don't agree with him. He became a close ally of President Donald Trump and was also a voice for the pro-life movement.
Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth.
To have someone that is that powerful of a speaker, he's very smart, he connects with this next generation, and this next generation is the up-and-coming generation that will be trying to fight for the lives of the unborn. And so, you know, we just love Charlie Kirk and everything that that he helps with in this pro-life cause.
Kirk leaves behind his wife and their 2 young daughters who are 3 and 1 years old. Not everyone agreed with Kirk. An anonymous person created a petition earlier this week to prevent Kirk from speaking at UVU yesterday, saying his platform was inconsistent with the school's ideals of inclusivity and diversity. That petition had almost 1,000 supporters before it closed yesterday after the shooting.
Taylor, thank you so much. I do want to make one correction. Charlie has 2 children, a daughter who's 3 and a son who is 1 year old. Thank you, Taylor. We, of course, will continue to be on top of all the major developments surrounding Charlie Kirk's assassination in Utah. Stay with Fox 13 News both on air and online at fox13now.com.
Yeah, it was windy yesterday in many parts of the state. Want to get you ready to get out the door, maybe get to school or work today and get you prepared for the weather conditions. Again, the wind brought some changes yesterday, made things cooler in the afternoon and evening. John Bartlett caught these winds out near Vernal in eastern Utah yesterday. So the question now is, on this day today, will those winds continue? Will we see a warm up? Will we see a cool down, fall like, summer like? Damon, what do we got today?
Well, it is going to get windy again later today, just in some different areas than it was yesterday. But we're off to a beautiful start, as you can see by this live look from the Ochre Mountain camera toward south end of the Great Salt Lake. Temperatures a little bit lower, but it's still pretty mild in Salt Lake, 67. Mid-60s in Price and St. George, Logan. It's 58. We did have a few showers and thunderstorms linger overnight, mainly over central and eastern Utah. Those drifted north, tapered off. A few spotty showers also ended in the Bear Lake area. Otherwise, we have a breeze out of the south this morning, but as we head into the afternoon, those winds will be picking up over southern and eastern Utah, becoming very gusty, even though we don't have any advisories issued. But still, both hands on the wheel. Might get some blowing dust out of some of those. Strong thunderstorms in eastern Utah might bring some strong wind gusts, as well as the potential for a little bit of rain. But the main impact out of the storm that's approaching will be to continue to cool us off over the next couple of days. So it'll actually start to feel a little bit more like fall. And we'll take a look at how low the temperatures drop in the full forecast coming up in a couple minutes. But first, want to check out traffic. And Katya, how are things looking so far on a Thursday morning?
Good morning, Damon. Yeah, weather-related, everything looking fine out there, but we're still seeing a handful of crashes kind of scattered throughout the state right now, including, unfortunately, Utah County. We're in the clearing stages of one down in Provo, but still seeing a bit of a delay for our northbound travelers near Center Street because of that. Definitely bigger delays as you head up a little bit further north. I-15 right at Point of the Mountain also impacting your travel northbound as well. We've got several vehicles pulled over to the left-hand shoulder, taking up that shoulder space in HOV lane, and looks like maybe partial part of the full far left lane as well. So slow going in parts of Utah County if you're trying to make your way into the Salt Lake Valley right now. Parts of Utah County in between those two crashes, not terrible. 71 miles per hour is how fast you're picking up speeds. So drive times, really seeing a big delay down in Utah County. Elsewhere, you're looking okay. It's looking around almost an hour to get you from Provo to 90th.
We are following the impacts of a tragic event that took place in our community yesterday, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Coming up right after the break, we are going to look at reaction pouring in from lawmakers across the country. Stay with us on air and online at fox13now.com as we also await the arrival of Vice President J.D. Vance to Utah. We'll be right back.
Jesse Palmer. Emmett Smith. Both of us together? This must be some kind of TV fantasy.
Nope, it's reality. Tableau reality. Tableau lets you watch, pause, and record live TV subscription-free.
Pause you, Jesse. I'm here for 100+ channels. News, reality, movies, free live sports. Plus, it's game time.
Tableau. It's not fantasy, it's reality.
And a smart play.
Learn more at tableautv.com.
The MVP of TV.
Want to know the hardest part of grocery shopping? It's that I'm never just grocery shopping. I'm kid wrangling and deal hunting. That's why I go to Macy's. I can't beat the value or the ice cream. It's called happy shopping. You should try it.
Look closely and you'll see adventure, discovery, even a little mud. These 4x4s provide the muscle, tech, and durability needed to go anywhere. The Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Be winter ready with 0 down leases on a 4-wheel drive Bronco for just $439 or a Bronco Sport for just $369.
Meet Katie Ann, a woman who knows what she wants. As she scrolls through life, she encounters the unexpected, a less than perfect arrival. But Katie Ann is no stranger to challenges. She moves confidently toward a better option.
Always there, so you can make life happen.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back. And Dave here is spreading the joy.
High five. Hey.
It's 5 years of lightning fast gig speeds.
High five.
5 years of advanced security. And 5 years connected on our ultra-reliable network.
High five.
All at a great rate. Lock in your price for 5 years today.
5 years?
That's the 5-year price lock guarantee. Only for a limited time. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
AAA Insurance. For refreshingly good service. Get coverage confidence with AAA Insurance.
Want to know the hardest part of grocery shopping? It's that I'm never just grocery shopping. I'm kid wrangling and deal hunting. That's why I go to Macy's. I can't beat the value or the ice cream. It's called happy shopping. You should try it.
You're watching Fox 13 News, part of the Scripps News Group.
We ought to be able to debate and have dialogue and go to college campuses without fear of, this kind of attack.
The rhetoric that is constantly used to demean each other, and both sides are painfully guilty of this. It's got to stop.
Welcome back to GDU. It's now 8:15 on this Thursday morning. A shooter still on the loose after Charlie Kirk was shot and killed on the campus of Utah Valley University yesterday. Now, this story has made national headlines, and Scripps News Group's Stephanie Liebergen joins us live now from the nation's capital to talk about what is happening out there on the federal level in response to this incident. Stephanie, I heard you learned that the president is going to take a step to honor Charlie Kirk.
Hey, John, exactly that. So within the last 30 minutes, President Trump was making his remarks across the river at the Pentagon at the 9/11 memorial service there, and he announced that he plans to posthumously give Charlie Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor in the U.S. So a big announcement from the president. We've heard from him a few different times since the initial shooting yesterday. He was, of course, offering a lot of thoughts and prayers for the Kirk family and all of his friends and loved ones, putting out a video last night, now announcing this Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously going to Kirk. So Kirk, as a conservative firebrand and activist, was very intertwined with the Trump campaign. We know that from J.D. Vance as well, the vice president, who will be coming to Salt Lake City later today with his wife instead of attending 9/11 anniversary events as he was initially scheduled to do. But we also saw from Vance a lengthy post on X, on social media, talking about his relationship with Kirk and how much that he was really a confidant and someone that Vance relied on and relied on his counsel from, even before he was a member of the U.S. Congress, when he was deciding to run for Senate, when he was deciding to join President Trump on the ticket in 2024. And so we have heard from a lot of Republicans, especially, kind words about Kirk. And we have also heard about the events that Kirk was known for hosting. He is, well known for hosting events at high schools and at college campuses where he would invite competing opinions and competing dialogues, and he would take questions from the left and the right, and he wasn't afraid to get into conversations with someone that he would disagree with. For example, he went on the podcast for California Governor Gavin Newsom, someone who is clearly a liberal politician and probably on the opposite end of the political spectrum from the conservative beliefs that Charlie Kirk held, but that didn't stop him from going on that podcast. That's something we heard, especially from Republicans time and time again, that Kirk was known for getting into conversations with everyone on all sides. Of course, politicians on both sides of the aisle condemning the attack, condemning the violence, and also noting that this political violence that the United States has been struggling with, especially over these last few years, is something that really needs to come to a stop.
Yeah, are they talking about ramping up safety at some of these events, these large outdoor gatherings with various places where we saw yesterday a shooter can hide out and commit these acts of violence? Is there any talk about changing those events, maybe adding more security, moving them indoors?
Well, that's something that Representative Nancy Mace spoke to Scripps News about yesterday, saying she's concerned about safety, not only for her and for her staff, and she intends to meet with the House Sergeant at Arms to try to talk about that and see what they need to do going forward. So I think even before this shooting, there were already concerns about political violence. Look back at the first assassination attempt for President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. That was a similar situation, an outdoor area that was harder to secure. And so we'll have to see how lawmakers respond. They will be busy here on Capitol Hill. There's a lot on their agenda for September before we reach the end of the fiscal year. But I think there certainly could be some pause when lawmakers are thinking about kind of what type of events they are going to host and be involved with, and what happens not only here in D.C., but making sure they're safe when they go home to their districts.
It really makes you think about these large gatherings that we go to so many times. Definitely a sad, sad day in our country today. Stephanie Liebergen, thank you for joining us this morning from Washington.
Well, we're coming up on 8:20 on Thursday morning and off to a sunny start in Salt Lake City, so looking good. In fact, we did have a few showers and thunderstorms lingering along and over the higher terrain of central and northern Utah early this morning. Those drifted north, tapered off. Even a few spotty showers up near Bear Lake have ended. So fair skies across much of the state, but a little cooler than it was yesterday morning. It's 67 right now, which is still pretty comfortable, but low 50s in Evanston. Low 60s in Delta, a chilly 35 in Ely, so more and more of you are having to dig through the closet and get out some of those jackets when you head out the door, and that'll be the case even more so heading into the weekend as we start to cool off when a weather system slides across the state. Right now, it's over Nevada. It's a slow mover. It'll eventually get here and slide in Friday and Saturday, but out ahead of it, we'll still get a southwesterly flow with gusty winds from that direction still popping up across parts of the state. Now, temperature in Salt Lake will climb to 84, so even though we are cooling off, that'll put us pretty close to average for this time of year. Mid-70s in Park City and Evanston. You'll make it up to 90 in Moab and St. George. Mostly sunny in the west, partly cloudy over the eastern half of the state with a chance of some thunderstorms popping up later in the day. A few of those possible in the north, but the best chance closer to the Colorado border. Those storms could potentially bring some strong gusty winds, but also the potential for some rain, which is why flood watch is in effect for eastern Utah today and tomorrow. So if you have an outdoor plans, you'll definitely need to keep an eye on the sky. But in St. George, it looks like you'll hang on to the sunshine. You'll only drop into the upper 80s on Friday and Saturday, and then next week you warm up into the low to mid 90s. And in Salt Lake City, it's going to be partly cloudy, slight chance of late day thunderstorms Friday and Saturday. They're possible, they're not very likely. Main impact of that weather system will simply be to cool us off a little bit. Temperature will drop into the upper 70s by Saturday, and then we'll dry out by Sunday and warm back up in the low 80s by early next week.
All right, Damon, thanks so much. Hey, we do have a new crash just into our newsroom, 5600 West 7th South. We are experiencing delays and minimal lane closures for north and southbound lanes at this intersection right now. So working on getting more information, but you can see a big response right in the middle of the intersection. Lots of cleanup that needs to take place as well, this in Salt Lake City. So please avoid this area if at all possible. And then you're probably not super happy if you're stuck behind this mess. It might be unavoidable if you're trying to travel northbound I-15 into the Salt Lake Valley. This is right at Point of the Mountain, so we've got maybe 4 or 5 vehicles involved in this crash, pulled over to the left-hand shoulder, taking up the HOV lane and part of that far left northbound lane as well. So this tends to be a very heavily trafficked area that sees congestion just during peak rush hour traffic. And then you put a crash on top of it, we are seeing a bit of a delay. So something to be aware of if you're heading out right now. Elsewhere, you can plan on pretty standard drive times across the board.
Thank you, Katya. Here's a live look right now at the Salt Lake City International Airport. We expect Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife to land here sometime today. Sources telling us it may be in the afternoon hours, the early afternoon. But again, we'll have crews out there throughout the day to bring you that moment live when the Vice President's plane does touch down here in Utah today. And stay right there because we'll have more on the murder of Charlie Kirk coming up after the break here on Good Day Utah.
Kick off the season with Signer Savings, like up to $3,500 off MSRP on new Kia Tellurides. Over 120 to choose from at the #1 Kia dealer in Utah, Jerry Signer Kia, South Jordan.
It's a busy morning in your house, but for you, it's just another day. You're the one who makes it all happen. But one day, everything changed. Our team at Robert J. DeBry has the experience to get you the compensation you deserve. Not sure you have a case? Dial the number with all the 8s.
Harry Potter, the exhibition leaves Salt Lake City on September 21st. Earn points for your favorite Hogwarts house by brewing potions, practicing your Quidditch skills, and casting spells. It's the last chance to encounter behind-the-scenes iconic movie moments and get up close with original props and costumes. Closing September 21st. This exhibition won't be here for long, so get your tickets to come celebrate the filmmaking magic of Harry Potter in an unforgettable way. Get your tickets before it's too late at harrypotterexhibition.com.
Utah is one of the driest states in the nation, so every drop of water counts. Meet Smart Controllers. They automatically adjust watering based on the weather, saving water and money while keeping your yard green, hassle-free. Plus, you can get up to a $100 rebate. With 60% of our water used outdoors, smart choices today help ensure Utah's water lasts for generations. Visit slowtheflow.org/rebate to make a difference with your yard and our future.
Buy one, get one is here. Buy a full bath remodel and get a tub to shower conversion in another bathroom for free. Visit westshorebath.com to lock in these savings before they're gone.
RC Willie has everything you need to make your home more comfortable.
And so once we came back, we were really looking. There was no pressure then and there to buy a car. It was super easy, super chill, and I felt super comfortable doing it.
That's Jerry Signer Kia, South Jordan.
Join us for the Gift of Life Walk Run, September 20th at 8 a.m. in Liberty Park. Register with code FOX13 to get $13 off.
You hear the pop, and then you just see like hit his chest, and then just blood squirted out of him all over the table. Then he just fell over, and I just I'm shaking. And
just traumatic moments for students who witnessed the assassination of Charlie Kirk on the campus of Utah Valley University on Wednesday. The manhunt right now still active for the shooter, who police believe killed Kirk on the campus less than 24 hours ago. We just learned this morning that police believe they found the gun, a rifle that was used in this violent attack. They also said they found a handprint, a forearm print, and also a possible footprint of the person that they are trying to find here this morning. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn any more information about the search for the killer of Charlie Kirk. In the midst of this tragedy, we do not want to forget the other tragedy that we remember today. Today marks 24 years since the 9/11 attacks, when Islamic terrorists hijacked 4 flights here in the United States. 2 of the planes crashed, of course, in the World Trade Center. 1 into the Pentagon, and 1 that was headed to Washington, D.C. landed and crashed in a field in Pennsylvania, thanks to the brave actions of the passengers on board who took over that aircraft. Nearly 3,000 people were killed, and today memorials are being held all across the country to honor those whose lives were lost.
I'm here at UVU, where just moments ago there was a press conference where we learned a lot of information about not only the weapon but the suspect and what the police and investigators need from the public still. I'll have all of that information that I'll break down for you coming up.
Kick off the season with Signer savings, like up to $2,000 off MSRP on new Kia Sportages. Row after row in stock at the #1 Kia dealer in Utah, Jerry Signer Kia, Salt Lake.
Meet this year's senior class, back together and most likely to get protected with mNEXSpike, a new and different COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna for adults 65 and older. These seniors chose mNEXSpike because it targets the virus differently to provide a robust immune response at a lower dose. mNEXSpike is a COVID-19 vaccine for people 65 and older. You shouldn't get mNEXSpike if you've had an allergic reaction to a previous Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Rare cases of inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining have been reported. The most common side effects are injection site pain, tiredness, headache, muscle and joint pain, chills, nausea or vomiting, swelling or soreness under the arm. These seniors are celebrating homecoming with a lower dose COVID-19 vaccine that helps them enjoy their time together. Like it's senior year all over again. mNEXSpike, the new COVID-19 vaccine by Moderna for the senior class. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about mNEXSpike.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $12,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. That's 20% below MSRP.
1847. Our home Utah takes shape. A century later, Utah's home champion is born. Since 1947, Whipple Service Champions has earned the trust of over 250,000 Utah homeowners, with techs who rise above to deliver award-winning heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Championing the spirit of 47, Whipple is offering $47 off any home repair or service, including drain clearings. Act now and call Whipple Service Champions at 801-896-1947 for the win today.
They remember my name. They remember who I am. When I come in, I'm greeted with joy and happiness to see me.
That's Jerry Signer Kia, Salt Lake.
Brought to you by Common Spirit Health, celebrating 150 years of care at Holy Cross Hospitals.
Somebody shot him right in the heart.
While the suspect is at large, we believe this was a targeted attack. Nothing I say can unite us as a country. Nothing I can say right now can fix what is broken. Nothing I can say can bring back Charlie Kirk.
As you wake up this morning, police are combing the state looking for the shooter who killed political activist Charlie Kirk.
It has now been less than 24 hours since the chaos broke out on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem at the courtyard right in the center of campus. And we've learned this morning that the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, is on his way to Utah. He's expected to land at Salt Lake City Airport sometime either late this morning or early this afternoon to pay his respects.
We do have a Fox 13 News crew there at the airport monitoring the situation. And as soon as we get word the Vice President is about to arrive, we, of course, will bring that to you. In the meantime, Fox 13 News reporter Maya Constantino is looking at rebuilding a sense of safety at schools this morning following this frightening incident.
But first, let's go out to Tina Giuliano. She was at a press conference that took place about an hour and a half ago, an hour 15 ago, on the campus of UVU. We'll learn more about the suspect that right now the FBI and Utah Department of Public Safety are trying to find. Tina, what's the latest on the search for this suspect?
Yeah, good morning, guys. There's a lot of information that we just heard, so I will break this down for you. That suspect is still at large. They're combing every possible lead that they have about where this person may be. Now, I want to give you some of the information that they gave us during this press conference, which was they found the weapon. That weapon that was believed to kill Charlie Kirk was a high-powered bolt-action rifle. It was found in a wooden area. They secured the woods and they made sure that the woods that he wasn't there or that person wasn't still there. So everything is secure in terms of that, but they are exhausting every resource, saying that it's a targeted attack. They're also talking about the community. DPS Commissioner Mason was talking about how this isn't Utah. The suspect blended well with the campus, but this isn't what Utah represents. And I'll share some of the sound that he shared with us.
As to the community, I can tell you that this was a targeted event. We don't believe that the community is at risk. However, we are exhausting every resource to find him, and we will do so.
As a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual.
They tracked the movements of the shooter. I mean, the shooting happened just around noon yesterday, so they had been tracking him, and they said that he made his way to the shooting location on the roof, and then once everything went down, he jumped off the building, fled into a neighborhood. And so what police did is comb that neighborhood. They talked to neighbors. They're still talking to the community, and they want to also have a message of, a solidarity, that the community can come together and support each other during this time and give their respect to the family that lost their husband, their father, and their brother, their friend at this time. Now, the other thing is that they're still wanting that support from the community. They want tips, any videos, photos, anything that you have from that day yesterday and the tragedy that happened. They want you to send it in to this website, fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, if you have anything that you have on your phone, anything at all. So for now, we're still waiting for some of this information to come down. They said that they'll have another update hopefully by the end of today. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
It's just such a stunning occurrence here in Utah. Tina, thanks so much. And as Tina mentioned, as the FBI wants your pictures and video, they said this morning in their news conference, they do have very clear pictures from surveillance on campus of the suspected shooter. However, they are not releasing those images to the public yet to protect the integrity of the investigation.
And they said no tip is too small. So if you have some video that you took when you were out there yesterday, please send it to them, and that could provide a clue they need to help bring this person to justice. Of course, violence on a school campus, it causes a lot of emotions for parents, for students, and I think a lot of people feeling that today.
Yeah, a lot of stress and a lot of sorrow. Fox 13 News reporter Maya Constantino joining us live to explain the increased security that parents and students will see at schools in Utah County this morning. Maya.
John and Kelly, thank you. Yeah, that unease is felt across the state, particularly for our students. Utah Valley University has canceled classes for the rest of the week. Brigham Young University and the University of Utah say they will have increased security on campus over the next few days. We spoke with many young college students who were there when the shooting happened and the intense emotions that came in the moments afterwards.
I don't feel safe anymore for the fact that someone can walk around campus with a gun in their backpack. It's kind of crazy.
You know, here in Utah Valley, like who would have thought? And like she said, the fact that someone could just walk in with a gun and start shooting, like that's a little bit jarring to know that, you know, we have to go to school next week. Like that's crazy.
I think it creates a feeling, many feelings of fear. And when something like this strikes so close to home, you really begin to question, even if you weren't there, oh, I know someone who was there, or I could have been there.
The Alpine School District placed 5 of its schools in security status yesterday in the first few hours after the shooting. That means students were brought inside and the doors were locked. School officials tell us they'll have counselors to provide support for students today. Lake Ridge Junior High School is right behind me. We were just speaking to them earlier today, and they say they are ready to offer support to their students. If you are struggling with your mental health after this tragic event, please call the state's crisis line at 988. Professionals will be available to offer support and care. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Maya, thank you. We do encourage you to reach out for help. Don't be ashamed or shy to do so. Right now, we still have so many questions. They are just swirling around in the investigation to find the shooter, the murderer of Charlie Kirk.
I think many Utahns right now wondering just how an act of violence like this could happen in a public place, and also what's next, the investigation to finally catch this suspect.
We have Greg Rogers. He is a professor at UVU who's a former FBI agent, joining us live this morning to try and provide some answers. Good morning, Greg. Thanks for joining us. Were you on campus yesterday when this event took place?
No, I'll be there today, but I was not on campus yesterday.
So what can you tell us? You know, we just heard the FBI and the Department of Public Safety talking about some of the clues that they have about a man they believe is a suspect here, but they won't release a photo to the public yet. Why would they wait to do that?
They are going to be doing a ton of forensic work on those photos, trying to search different databases to determine if they can identify that shooter. The main concern is this is a very dangerous individual who's still out in the public, probably still armed, even though we have his rifle. You can't make the assumption that's the only weapon he had. So they're doing everything they can do to get their hands on this shooter as soon as possible. I can assure you that those photos will be released relatively soon, because they're going to be asking the public, who knows this guy? Yeah. He may not have a criminal record. He may not be in any of the databases. So if that's the case, that photo will, a good photo will be released, and we'll be asking for the public's help to identify him.
The FBI in their news conference this morning said that this individual blended in very well with the university atmosphere. They do believe that he is of college age. Greg, I've got to address the elephant in the room with you right now. Fox 13 News is aware of social media videos circulating of people seeing somebody on the roof of a building there on campus before the Charlie Kirk event actually started. Why on earth did the university not take precautions, knowing that this was a highly politically energized event coming to campus with thousands of students expected there to view this?
That's a very good question. Unfortunately, that's a mistake that can't be defended. There's, after the attempted Trump assassination, we should have learned some lessons about these events. You can have drones up. Easy to do. If drones were up and he'd have been spotted on the roof, so that was a security failure. It can't be defended.
And what's going on right now, from your experience in the FBI office here in Salt Lake, and maybe even in Virginia as well? Are they trying to profile this person? Are they trying to find any bits of info about this person's past? Because you know, they mentioned he's a college-age likely person. So if you can, just paint us a picture of what's going on in those offices.
They are actually our behavioral science unit. They will be profilers that'll be working this case. There will be reviewing all of the forensics. There are a lot of interesting things that have come out this morning about the forensics. This guy was not careful. He left a palm print, he left a forearm print, he left shoe impressions, he left the rifle. I mean, those are, those speak a whole lot about his pre-operation planning. This guy is, it's my opinion, but he's not a pro. Those are huge mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Greg, the FBI said after the shooting, the suspect jumped from the roof and then fled to a nearby neighborhood. You know the campus very well. I'm not too familiar with the surrounding area. Are there homes and wooded areas directly near the campus? Where did this person go?
There are homes that come, the neighborhoods come right up to the campus. When you cross the street that goes around campus, like Campus Boulevard that goes just right around campus, when you cross the street, you're in residential neighborhoods.
So many questions. Thank you for your insight. Greg Rogers, a professor at UVU and a former FBI agent. We are still waiting for the answers to help solve this case and find the murderer of Charlie Kirk. Take care, Greg.
And of course, we're continuing to follow this coverage all day long today as the search continues for the person accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk yesterday on the campus of Utah Valley University. Stick with Fox 13 both on air and online throughout the day as we track the latest developments, bringing more press conferences, updates, and also the arrival of Vice President J.D. Vance as he travels to Utah to pay his respects.
Damon, let's talk about the weather. Let's change gears here now.
It's looking good. Yeah, you know, we had a stormy day for parts of Utah yesterday, also a windy one. But this morning, for the most part, we've been off to a quiet start and a beautiful view from the Oker Mountain camera looking at across Tooele Valley. Temperature's a little bit lower than it was 24 hours ago, but if you're ready for fall, that might feel good. In fact, this afternoon, we're only going to peak in the low to mid 80s along the Wasatch Front, which puts us back down pretty close to average for this time of year. And topping our Day Planner Plus is the fact that if you want to take advantage of that out at the Utah State Fair, it's going to be feeling pretty comfortable. In fact, even at lunchtime, temperature is going to be in the upper 70s. So if you don't find a spot in the shade, not too bad. Low 80s around 4 p.m. and then we'll drop into the mid 70s later in the evening with clouds increasing out ahead of a storm that'll cool us off even more tomorrow. And out ahead of that today, we'll get some winds out of the south picking up, but it looks like the strongest winds, which might be gusting up to 35 miles per hour, would be over the southern, potentially eastern part of the state today. So blowing dust, and also with it so dry still, that means an increase in fire danger, even though we don't have any watches or warnings in effect for that. Next couple of days, we'll have a slight chance of some thunderstorms popping up. They're possible, they're not very likely. Main impact of the storm will simply be to cool us off a little bit more. 80 tomorrow, the upper 70s on Saturday, but then by Sunday it'll be mostly sunny and we'll make it back up to 83, our average high temperature this time of year.
Vice President J.D. Vance is headed to Utah following the shocking death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. What we're learning about his visit.
Kelly, where do your best mornings start?
Where do you think? The best mornings have your favorite stars. Well,
I postmated these thrones, and I'm just glad they got it.
The best mornings have the biggest stumps.
I think you met your husband when you were 16.
You are wrong, Mark.
The best mornings start with Kelly and Mark.
You're like apple pie in America.
Look closely at a workhorse with power to take on anything. Lisa built Ford Tough F-150 for $0 down and just $479 a month. It's time to see Ford in a new light.
Get RV show pricing now at every Blue Compass RV. All RVs must go, starting at just $101 a month. Each backed by a complimentary 1-year VIP membership to RV Complete. Exclusively at Blue Compass RV. Hurry in today.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because we know it's more than a new home. It's really him. It's a new journey.
Welcome to the neighborhood, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Whoa.
And when you feel protected, you can dream fearlessly.
Go long.
Bundle home and auto and save up to 40%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I'm Larry Gelwicks, the getaway guru for Morris Columbus Travel. Cruise Wilderness, Alaska with Norwegian Cruise Line. Glaciers galore, gourmet dining, and non-stop fun. For details, contact Morris Columbus Travel.
Fox 13's Dream Team is surprising extraordinary people to help them chase their dreams. Nominate someone by scanning this QR code. Sponsored by Mountain America Credit Union and Master Auto Tech. Celebrate local heroes on Fox 13 News.
Look closely at 4x4s with the muscle, tech, and durability needed to go anywhere. Get a zero-down lease on a Bronco for just $439 or a Bronco Sport for just $369. It's time to see Ford in a new light.
Kelly, where do your best mornings start?
Where do you think? The best morning start with Kelly and Mark.
I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd. Very, very big.
That right there, obviously, President Donald Trump speaking a short time ago at a 9/11 memorial at the Pentagon. You heard it, posthumously awarding Charlie Kirk the Medal of Freedom, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest honor to a civilian. He says that ceremony will be happening soon. We just got that new video into the newsroom this morning. We have also confirmed Vice President J.D. Vance is on his way to Utah.
And we have a crew outside the Salt Lake City International Airport. That is our reporter Darian DeBrew out there this morning. Darian, what are you seeing so far, and when can we expect the Vice President to touch down here?
Well, we know that we are expecting Vice President J.D. Vance and Air Force Two to make their arrival at the Salt Lake City International Airport within the next several hours. In fact, I'm actually standing in front of the runway that we should be able to see Air Force Two come down once they arrive. We are on the southeast side of the Salt Lake City International Airport. And since you guys last spoke to me, we did see people in black suits and black glasses kind of walking around the airport grounds, checking things out with what looked to be airport employees. However, we can't confirm whether that was related or not related to the Vice President's arrival, but that is something we did observe. As far as the Vice President's relationship with Charlie Kirk, he did post on X saying, quote, Charlie Kirk was a true friend, and then going on to say that he was in a meeting in the West Wing when those group chats started lighting up with people telling Charlie that they were praying for him, and that's how the Vice President learned the news that Charlie Kirk had been shot. He then concludes by saying that now that Charlie is in heaven, I'll ask him to talk to the big man directly on behalf of his family, his friends, and the country he loved so dearly. We haven't heard yet if the Vice President is going to be doing a public engagement or any sort of speaking opportunity, but as always, we will keep you updated on air and online as soon as we know. Back to you guys.
Darian, thank you for the update. We will continue to follow the assassination of Charlie Kirk on the campus of Utah Valley University right here on Fox 13 News. You can always stream our broadcast as well online at fox13now.com.
Well, we're coming up on 8:50 on Thursday morning, and so far it's been looking good, although feeling a little different out there with cooler temperatures. Comfortable in Salt Lake at 67, but it's about 10 degrees lower than that in Logan, and in Park City it's jacket weather. In fact, you'll need a winter coat in Ely, mid-30s, while in Green River and Moab in the mid-70s. So a pretty wide range of temperatures out there right now. Aside from that, hanging on to some sunshine in Salt Lake with a little bit of a breeze out of the southwest today, and our temperature that'll be climbing up into the mid-80s. And you can see on the regional forecast that'll be the case in a lot of the northern valleys, though a little bit shy of that in Tooele at 79. Those temperatures are running pretty close to average for this time of year, so even though it has cooled off quite a bit from earlier this week, it's still going to be feeling pretty comfortable for a lot of you. And after a cool start, you'll peak at 74 in Park City, mid-60s expected at Delta. Have a slight chance of afternoon, evening thunderstorms, but that would mainly be along and over the mountains. And in western Utah, it'll be breezy today with some wind out of the southwest, but it doesn't look like those winds will be as strong as they were yesterday. Eastern Utah is where the thunderstorms would be most likely later today. Some of those over the mountains could be strong, with the main impact being some winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour or even above that. But there's also the potential for some heavy rain, which is why the flash flood potential is a little higher than it was even yesterday. It's possible at Arches, Canyonlands, Natural Bridges, and San Rafael Swell. So if you do have outdoor plans in those areas, just definitely need to keep an eye on the sky both today and tomorrow. We'll have a slight chance of those thunderstorms in southeast Utah. In the southwest, it'll be mostly sunny. You'll make it up to 90 in St. George, low 70s at Bryce Canyon. So again, you can really feel that fall is right around the corner with some mild temperatures. It's going to be warm, but not too hot. Even next week when it starts to climb again, it looks like you'll be in the low to mid 90s in St. George by then. And in Salt Lake City, it'll be partly cloudy with a slight chance of afternoon, evening thunderstorms Friday and Saturday. They're possible, they're not very likely. Main impact of the storm sliding through will simply be to cool us off. Upper 70s by Saturday, but then by the end of the weekend, we'll climb back into the low 80s.
After the shooting at UVU, families are feeling uneasy across Utah. And up next, we'll tell you how schools are responding and supporting our students. Coming up.
Kick off the season with Signer Savings and pay $0 down. Plus, make no payments for 90 days on new Chevys. That's right, $0 down, no payments for 90 days. At Jerry Signer Chevrolet, Salt Lake.
Looking to get stronger? Join Planet Fitness today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. You in?
Offer ends September 12th.
Papa Murphy's dares you to turn up the sweet and the heat with 3 bold takes on our ultimate pepperoni. Start with 2 kinds of pepperoni, then choose Mike's Hot Honey or Mike's Extra Hot Honey for a heat-seeking kit. 3 bold pizzas, each just $9.99. Only at Papa Murphy's.
Maria wants to ride a roller coaster. Jaden wants to see some cows. And Carl wants a corn dog. Or maybe 2. So where's the one place they can see and do all of this? Nowhere but the fair, that's where. The Utah State Fair, September 4th through the 14th.
Looking to get stronger? Join Planet Fitness today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. You in?
Offer ends September 12th.
They answer my questions. They don't try and push anything on me. They allow me to make my own decision based off of my questions and their answers.
That's Jerry Signer Chevrolet, Salt Lake.
Fox 13's Scott McCain. Weeknights at 9, only on Fox 13 News.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Day Utah. We're taking a live look. I believe this is the 9/11 Memorial outside of Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where that's one of the 4 planes that was hijacked on 9/11 crashed. That's the plane where the passengers took over the cockpit to prevent it from causing another tragedy in the nation's capital. This is that memorial there in Pennsylvania on a very somber day for many reasons. One, it is the 24th anniversary since 9/11 when 3,000 lives were lost that day when those 4 planes were hijacked. Also here in Utah today, we have another tragedy that we're dealing with, the murder of Charlie Kirk yesterday.
Yeah, we continue to follow that story. There will be memorials in New York City today as well in honor of those 9/11 victims, and also here in our own state. You know, we showed you video just the other day of the healing field in Sandy, which if you haven't been there, it is flags, one representing each victim in the 9/11 attacks. And it is so moving and touching to see those thousands of flags, and attached to each flag is a name and a picture in many cases, and a couple sentences about who that person is that lost their life on that tragic day.
And we must remember every year, every day if we can.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, having kids myself, and we'll talk about 9/11, and to really let them know what happened and the impact and what our country went through amidst such tragedy, the most devastating thing that one could possibly think of, but how we united, and in a weird kind of eerie yet beautiful way, after what happened here in our state of Utah on the campus of Utah Valley University yesterday, how while there's a manhunt going on right now, that we're reaching out and we're seeing love and beauty and
checking
tragedy.
in on each other too. How do you heal best during times like uncertainty and anxiety and angst?
And it's been such a rough month here in Utah over the past 4 weeks with losing 2 officers in the line of duty. Their funerals and this tragedy now, it just seems like it's one on top of the other.
I know, we can't catch a break.
And yes, we may heal, but we'll never be the same. Much like after 9/11, the country was never the same. I don't think we'll ever be the same here in Utah after what happened yesterday.
And if you are feeling overwhelmed, don't forget the free service, the 988 hotline, to just be able to talk to somebody. Just say, you know, this is really bothering me, and I just wanted to let somebody know. I was doing that with John. We were texting back and forth yesterday.
In shock,
with the event.
in complete shock.
Yeah,
doesn't seem
and
real.
we kind of comforted each other in a way. So it really does help. So please seek that help if you need it.
I want to send you out to Tina Giuliano. She's been tracking the latest developments on the search for that suspect who killed Charlie Kirk this morning. Tina.
Yeah, guys, it has been just a lot of information coming down because they're still looking for this suspect, but they have some information about him, and I'll give that to you when we come back. Coming up.
Smith's, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Smith's shoppers never compromise. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
Our free furnace sale is happening right now. When you have Any Hour Services install a new air conditioner, we'll give you a new furnace for just the cost to install it, about $400. The furnace is free, you just pay the labor. Schedule a free estimate today. Call us or schedule online at anyhour.com.
Having a clown car as a rideshare is wrong. Underage drinking, that's very wrong. It can harm your decision making.
When your kids understand underage drinking is very wrong, 9 out of 10 don't drink.
At Dollar Loan Center, we like the word no. No checking account required. No application fees. No collateral or car title required. Even no interest for the first week for all new customers.
At West Shore Home, we're making it easy to completely refresh your bathroom with our buy one, get one sales event. Buy a full bathroom remodel, get a tub to shower conversion in another bathroom for free. Yep, you heard that right. Get a fresh modern upgrade to your main bathroom and eliminate that outdated, hard to clean tile or old fiberglass unit for free. For more information, visit westshorebath.com or call 888-4WESTSHORE to lock in those savings. That's westshorebath.com for buy one, get one savings from West Shore Home.
It's safe to say that a great day's work starts with a great night's sleep. So no matter what kind of job you have, Denver Mattress has the right mattress for you. So shop the extended Labor Day sale today, because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, or save up to $200 on our Doctor's Choice lineup. Any size, any model. Check out the Colorado Twin for only $149.99. Plus, get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
John Franke, weekdays on Good Day Utah.
At Smith's, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Smith's shoppers never compromise. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd. Very, very big.
That is President Donald Trump there speaking this morning at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which rocked Utah County and the nation after that shooting at Utah Valley University in Orem yesterday.
And right now, the manhunt is continuing to find the person suspected of killing Charlie Kirk.
We do have team coverage this morning covering every angle and every new development overnight in the manhunt now underway.
I want to start with Tina Giuliano. She's been tracking the latest developments from authorities this morning as the FBI and Utah Department of Public Safety gave us an update about 2 hours ago on the latest in their search for this person who they think committed this violence. Tina, what do we know so far?
Yeah, so we don't have the suspect's name or identity at this point. The suspect is still at large, but they have a lot of information in terms of videos of his face. They haven't released that to us just yet because they're still analyzing that as we speak. But what I can tell you is that the person that committed this atrocity yesterday was of college age. They said that he blended well in a college university. And so I have some of the sound from the press conference that I want to share with you about the suspect.
We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was.
And so one of the biggest things here too is that they're putting all of their manpower on this investigation. They say no tip is too small. They want you to send any videos, photos, any information that you have about what happened yesterday and the death of Charlie Kirk. You can send it to their website, which is, let me find that for you, fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting. The other thing that I also wanted to mention too is that they did find the weapon that was used to shoot and kill Charlie Kirk. It was a high-powered bolt rifle, and they found it in a wooded area. That area has been secured. They found some prints that they're still analyzing from that. So lots of information that we found out today. And again, if you have any tips, they want you to send it over. So I'm sending it back to you guys.
Yeah, Tina, you just gave the website for those tips. So any pictures, video, or anything you just saw, a verbal witness statement there, there's also a toll-free number. It's 1-800-CALL-FBI. Tina Giuliano live on the campus of Utah Valley University this morning. Thank you so much for the update.
And again, no tip is too small. So here's a recap of some of the details that we learned this morning about this investigation. Officials able to track the shooter onto the campus. They arrived there at 11:52 yesterday morning. Then they climbed stairs to the roof of a building near where Charlie Kirk was speaking. They also say the shooter jumped off the building and then fled into a neighborhood. Crews have been searching neighborhoods and surveillance video. They have footage, they say, of that suspected shooter, but they're not releasing it just yet to the media. They have collected evidence and foot impressions of that suspect. DPS says that the suspect appears to be, again, like Tina just mentioned, of college age. They've received about 130 tips so far. And if you have any videos or images from the shooting, please send them in. fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting. And the number that Kelly just mentioned, once again, 1-800-CALL-FBI. And again, you might think your tip is small, but they say no tip is too small. It might just provide the clue they need to find this person.
I do want to just bring up another point out of that news conference we took earlier this morning is FBI recovering that weapon they believe used in this shooting. The question was asked, was that weapon traced back to a specific owner? The FBI would not release that information either. They said the public needs to be patient right now with their investigation. Officials do also saying the shooting was very targeted and there's no threat to the public. However, there is still a great feeling of unrest among Utah families this morning, especially as they send their children to school.
And Maya Constantino is in Utah County for us today with a look at some of the safety measures being taken there as parents send their kids to school just hours after this tragic shooting. Good morning, Maya.
Good morning. Yeah, A sense of unease is felt across state, particularly for our students. Utah Valley University has canceled classes for the rest of the week. Brigham Young University and the University of Utah say they will have increased security on campus over the next few days. We spoke with many young college students who were there when the shooting happened and the intense emotions that came in the moments afterwards.
Everything just happened so fast, and everyone was running and screaming, saying get down. It just didn't feel real in the moment, especially like the blood. I'm still really shaken up.
I immediately just couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing, but like a few seconds after, I just quickly got down. I realized that it was all real and super scared.
The Alpine School District placed 5 of its schools in secure status yesterday in the first few hours after the shooting. That means students were brought inside and the doors were locked. School officials tell us they'll have counselors to provide support for students today. Lake Ridge Junior High School is right behind me. Earlier this morning, we spoke with some officials. Their biggest message for today is they're ready to support their students and they're ready to help people heal. If you are struggling with your mental health after this tragic event, please use the state's crisis line at 988. It's a free resource. Get connected with a professional who can help. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Maya, some good advice right there to get that help if you are feeling that unease, if your mental health is struggling today. There are people who want to listen and who will listen and help you through it.
Yeah, please reach out.
Of course, a big reason why the tragedy has rocked the nation is because of the impact that Charlie Kirk had on the political sphere, especially on social media.
He was here, huge nationwide, even worldwide. People knew the name Charlie Kirk. Fox 13 News investigative reporter Taylor Stevens took a closer look at the legacy Kirk is known for. Taylor joining us live in studio this morning. Taylor.
Yeah, that's right. 31-year-old Charlie Kirk died doing exactly what caused him to rise to the public eye in the first place, rallying young people with an appeal to Christian conservatism. Kirk was the founder of youth organization Turning Point USA and would place attention on what the group called liberalism on college campuses. Kirk frequently went to college campuses to engage in debate with students who don't agree with them. He became a close ally of President Donald Trump and was also a voice for the pro-life movement.
Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth.
To have someone that is that powerful of a speaker, he's very smart, he connects with this next generation, and this next generation is the up-and-coming generation that will be trying to fight for the lives of the unborn. And so, we just love Charlie Kirk and everything that he helps with in this pro-life cause.
Kirk leaves behind his wife and their 2 young children who are 3 and 1 years old. Not everyone agreed with Kirk. An anonymous person created a petition earlier this week to prevent Kirk from speaking at UVU yesterday, saying his platform was inconsistent with the school's ideals of inclusivity and diversity. That petition had almost 1,000 supporters before it closed yesterday after the shooting.
Taylor, thank you. Now, we've heard that he had many fans. We know that very well through his social media interactions and all the crowd that we saw yesterday. And many of those fans gathered last night to honor him. Take a look. This is video from one of the vigils that Fox 13 News attended yesterday at the state capitol, where hundreds gathered at the Capitol Rotunda. They were led in prayer and speech by Utah state representatives, both past and present. Attendees called it a reverent and patriotic moment to honor Charlie Kirk. Representatives Carrie Ann Lisenby and Tiara Oxir. They say the messages of conservatism and Christianity that he spread actually inspired them.
He knew the hostility he would face. He knew the names he would be called. But he showed up anyway because he loved America and believed it was still worth fighting for.
We will all turn our hearts to God and ask him to save our nation and our republic.
The support did not stop there. Turning Point USA campus chapters at colleges all across the country, they organized vigils last night, according to the organization's founder.
And this morning, we're getting more reaction from across the country in the wake of the deadly shooting. The U.S. House of Representatives held a moment of silence yesterday for Charlie Kirk. Members on both sides of the aisle prayed for Kirk and his family. And Utah Senator Mike Lee posted on X saying, quote, Charlie Kirk was an American patriot, an inspiration to countless young people to stand up and defend the timeless truths that make our country great. This murder was a cowardly act of violence, an attack on champions of freedom like Charlie, the students who gathered for civil debate, and all Americans who peacefully strive to save our nation. He went on to say the terrorists will not win, Charlie will. Please join me in praying for his wife Erica and their children. May justice be swift. And Utah Senator John Curtis spoke with a CNN reporter moments after the initial shooting. Take a listen.
This is my backyard. This is very, very personal because of that, and leaves the scars. I think it's time for all of us to reevaluate how we're talking about issues. I think that if we're honest, we're having conversations within families that are too heated. We're having conversations among friends that are too heated, and then that obviously escalates as it gets to a broader conversation. It's not healthy. It's not who we are.
President Donald Trump also giving a statement after yesterday's shooting. Look at this.
All who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people.
The president has ordered all American flags to be flown at half-staff in Kirk's honor until Sunday evening at 6 p.m. We are on top of all the major developments surrounding this assassination. Stay with Fox 13 News, both on air and online at fox13now.com. Remember, we are still awaiting the arrival of Vice President J.D. Vance to Utah today.
Now to your weather for the day. That was some wind captured on video last night. This is out in eastern Utah near Vernal. Video sent to our Utah's Weather Authority Facebook page. So Damon, as folks head out today, maybe they want to take a nice walk to process what we're experiencing right now in our state. Is it going to be a nice day to have that walk?
Well, it's a great start to it. Certainly, you can see that by this glance from the Natural History Museum camera across Salt Lake Valley. Mostly sunny, so hopefully, that takes the edge off stressful 24 hours. It's also feeling pretty comfortable in a lot of places with readings near 70 in Salt Lake, Price, and St. George, a little shy of that in Logan. In the mid-60s. Now, we did have a few showers still lingering very early this morning. Some of those over northeast Utah and along the Idaho border. Those tapered off pretty quickly. So we've got fair skies and right now some light wind out of the south, which will help us storm up pretty quickly. But heading into the afternoon, gusty winds are possible this time around in southern and eastern Utah, especially if any strong thunderstorms develop over the east, which is a possibility. Next couple of days will gradually be getting cooler. Fall is just around the corner and it's going to start to feel like it. In fact, we'll take a look at how low the temperatures will drop coming up in the 7-day forecast.
Did you know that in middle-income communities, there are about 13 books for every child? But in some underserved communities, there's only one book for every 300 children. Studies show that having lots of books at home is one of the best ways to help a child succeed in school and beyond. That's why the Scripps Howard Fund started the If You Give a Child a Book campaign to give books to children who need them most, like me.
So please, if you could give a child a book today.
Just scan the QR code, we would be so grateful.
The price break has been extended. Now through Monday at Strong Volkswagen. You could save thousands. Price breaks on every new Volkswagen. The all-new redesigned Tiguan, now only $255 a month. Plus a huge selection of new Atlas. And get 0% financing for 72 months. And at Strong, you get a lifetime warranty. The price break has been extended. Now through Monday.
Proudly serving Utah
since 1955.
At Strong Volkswagen. StrongVW.com.
Meet this year's senior class, back together and most likely to get protected with mNEXSpike, a new and different COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna for adults 65 and older. These seniors chose mNEXSpike because it targets the virus differently to provide a robust immune response at a lower dose. mNEXSpike is a COVID-19 vaccine for people 65 and older. You shouldn't get mNEXSpike if you've had an allergic reaction to a previous Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Rare cases of inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining have been reported. The most common side effects are injection site pain, tiredness, headache, muscle and joint pain, chills, nausea or vomiting, swelling or soreness under the arm. These seniors are celebrating homecoming with a lower dose COVID-19 vaccine that helps them enjoy their time together. Like it's senior year all over again. mNEXSpike, the new COVID-19 vaccine by Moderna for the senior class. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about mNEXSpike.
Don'tBeBroke.com is your safest option for online loans, unlike a lot of online scams. Get up to $5,000 without even leaving the comfort of your home and get fully funded in just 4 easy steps in less than an hour.
I'm Larry Gelwix, the getaway guru for Morris Columbus Travel.
Run away to the sunny beaches of Hawaii, blue ocean waters, white sand beaches, and non-stop fun with Delta Vacations. For details, contact Morris Columbus Travel.
You're watching Fox 13 News, part of the Scripps News Group.
That guy did nothing but good his whole life, and he was murdered for it. And it tears me up.
One of the thoughts going through my head was, this is what my city is going to be known for now. A really tragic thing to be remembered for.
Absolutely devastating. It is a heart-wrenching day for people across our country. Not only is it the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, but right now, an urgent manhunt still underway as police are searching for the shooter who killed political activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University yesterday. There are still so many questions swirling around the investigation into the shooter.
Many people wondering right now how an act of violence like this could happen in that public place and what to do if they're ever in a situation just like what happened yesterday.
We have Josh Sullivan. He is the Chief Operating Officer at Alive Active Shooter Survival Training. You are joining us from Washington, D.C. this morning. Josh, thank you so much for taking the time. You know, FBI agents in their press conference this morning reiterated that this wasn't a mass shooting in the context of people having to duck and cover, that they perhaps were the target. This was a very targeted attack. However, it took place in an open area in front of 2,000 people. You saw the video, people scattering when that shot rang out. What should people do if they ever find themselves in the same situation? God forbid.
You know, first off, thank you for having me. It's unfortunate that we're here talking about this in the first place. But what I'll say is, even with a targeted attack, it doesn't change the fact that you're able to be injured in that event, right? You know, all the different videos that people are seeing out there. There's stampedes of people trying to get to safety and trampling other people. There's people that you could see in the videos up against bike rack that were kind of being forced into that bike rack. So, you know, first of all, it's starting with situational awareness. At the Alive program, we teach the first half of our program is situational awareness. What can you do to recognize warning signs? What can you do to know your surroundings and really be able to take action if something does happen?
Yeah, you know, we've seen videos of a potential suspect on a roof of a nearby building. I mean, if you're out there, if you're one of the people in the crowd and you see something that doesn't look right, should you say something? Should you make a phone call to authorities?
Absolutely. I think gone are the days that we can see something and not say something. You know, I would hate to have blood on my hands for being able to see something that even for a couple seconds can change the outcome of a fatality count or injury count. Just by seeing that little thing and saying something, you can absolutely save lives. And again, it all comes back to that situational awareness component.
Josh, we were talking to you during the commercial break and we found out that you knew Charlie Kirk. You, a few times yourself, were on his security detail. So the people that were with Charlie yesterday here in Utah, why were they not securing the perimeter zone better? Why did this have to happen?
Yeah, so over the past quite a few years, I've got to protect Charlie and meet the incredible man he was, but then also a lot of people on every side of the spectrum, left, right, independent, that do all the same thing that Charlie did and what he stood for. First off, I want to be very clear in saying that all the footage I've seen, his protective detail did an amazing job. They immediately started life-saving care. They immediately evacuated him, which that's our job. In protective services, we train, and I train people to this day of what to do in executive protection, and they did a great job. What I will say is it's a little different than what most people understand when you're on the private side versus with a law enforcement agency or federal government. We don't have the ability to lock down areas like the police do, right? So even though you're a public figure and you're polarizing and very controversial even to some, you can only do what you can do. And so I'm sure, and not 100%, but I'm sure that they took precautions. I know for a fact that in the past, Charlie has worn some sort of body armor, depending on the incident that was going on. And he also knew the threat that he faced every day and stood against it in what he believed in. So, there was a certain part that just kind of came with it. When you're in the public eye, you have threats, and executive protection is a shield. And absolutely, like I said, those guys did the best job they could with the cards they were dealt. But you're not always, unfortunately, able to stop anything or everything from happening when you're not on a police department or secret service or something like that, where you have the ability to lock down those outside areas and have more capabilities. So I think they did a great job with the cards that they were dealt.
Oh. Josh, people knew Charlie on the political stage, that he demanded and commanded. What would you say about him on a personal level?
God-fearing, and what you see in the news and some of the footage of him is him. He was very much himself. He cared about God. He cared about saving everybody he could. And beyond that, he was just a good man. Between different trips going back and forth and stuff, I had a chance to talk to him, and he was very open with talking to a security detail, at least the few that I was on. And he just talked to you, and he was a normal person, with 2 kids and a wife that stood up and had a stand and made his living doing what he loved to do.
Josh Sullivan.
And it was about nonviolence.
Josh Sullivan with a live active shooter survivor training. We appreciate your time and insight this morning on a very, very tough day. We're so sorry for the loss of your friend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks.
In the aftermath of this tragedy, many people gathered outside Timpanogos Regional Hospital in Orem. We're told Charlie Kirk was brought to that hospital in a private vehicle. But even before anyone knew for sure, people just gathered at the hospital, some holding signs, flags, and flowers to show their support for Charlie and his family. Some people we talked to said they did not believe in his views politically. However, they said violence is simply not the answer.
It's super real when it just hits home. It's like you always hear about it in other places, and you feel strongly about certain things and you're on board with certain things, but when it's in your own home, it just kind of like ignites something in you even more, I think, is what happened to me today with this, and just makes me want to stand up even more and just, I don't know, be even more vocal.
And people we spoke with said an incident like this will not stop them from voicing their views, and they just wanted to watch him go one final time. The motorcade took Charlie's body to the medical examiner's office in Taylorsville. And tonight, people in Orem will honor Charlie Kirk at the Orem City Center Park. Organizers are asking people to bring candles and flowers to honor conservative activist Charlie Kirk and his family. That vigil will start at 7 o'clock tonight.
In national news this morning, 2 students wounded and the juvenile suspect now dead after a shooting at a Denver area high school yesterday. The sheriff's office says the gunman opened fire with a revolver. Video shows terrified students here fleeing the scene and ringing a doorbell at a nearby home as students were just looking for a safe place to go. Others were on lockdown inside Evergreen High School. Police say first responders reached the scene within 2 minutes of receiving that 911 call. They say authorities were in contact with the suspect about 3 minutes later. Officials say the suspect was taken to the hospital with a self-inflicted gunshot wound and later died.
And we don't want to forget the other tragedy that we are remembering today, because today, of course, marks 24 years since those 9/11 attacks when Islamic terrorists hijacked 4 flights. 2 of the planes crashed into the World Trade Center, 1 into the Pentagon, and 1 that was headed to Washington, D.C. crashed in a field thanks to the brave actions of the passengers on board who took over command of that plane from the terrorists. Nearly 3,000 people were killed on that day, and today memorials are being held across the country to honor those who lost their lives.
Right now, communities across our state, they're taking a moment today to come together in remembrance of 9/11. And Hurricane and American flag will be flying all day at the Hurricane Valley Fire District Station. There will be a motorcycle ride at 10:30 this morning when ceremonies, food trucks, and the lighting of the flag from 6 to 9 p.m. this evening. In Vineyard, city leaders are honoring our patriots with speakers, music, food trucks, and a drone show. That goes from 7 to 9:15 this evening at Grove Park.
And luckily looking good for any observances you might be heading out to today. In fact, this morning, absolutely beautiful, sunny, nice look north from the Old Mill camera along the east side of the Salt Lake Valley. And after a few stray clouds and a few stray showers over northeast Utah and in the far north earlier this morning, we've got fair skies across the state. Now, we dropped into the mid 60s in Salt Lake overnight. It was a little bit cooler, but we've made it back to 71 at this point. It's mid 40s in Ely, 50 in Elko. But most valleys have made it up into the 60s and 70s. In fact, almost 80 degrees already in Hanksville. No big surprise because of our slow-moving storm that's making its way across Nevada today. That'll move into Utah tomorrow, but out ahead of it, a southwesterly flow, which will bring some gusty winds, especially to southern and eastern parts of the state. But it's still going to help us warm up pretty close to average for this time of year. 84 is what we're forecasting for Salt Lake, so almost right on target for that number. Temperature will actually be in the upper 70s into the mid 80s in a lot of the valleys today. It'll be a little shy of that in Park City. It's 74. You make it up to 90 in Moab as well as St. George. With sunshine expected over the western half of the state, partly cloudy over the mountains and in eastern Utah, where we might get a few thunderstorms popping up. There's a slight chance in the north, mainly along and over the mountains, but a better chance of some possibly strong storms from southwest Wyoming down in eastern Utah, closer you are to the Colorado border. Some of those could bring some very strong gusty winds, maybe up near 60 miles per hour, but there's also the potential for some heavy rain at times out of those. Not very likely, but with another chance of storms tomorrow, flash flood watch will be in effect for much of eastern Utah until Friday evening. So just something to keep in mind if you have outdoor plans in that part of the state. Now, St. George, you hang on to sunshine. You'll drop into the upper 80s tomorrow, hover close to that over the weekend, and then by the middle of next week, you make it back into the mid 90s. In Salt Lake City, it'll be partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms Friday and Saturday. They're possible, they're just not very likely, but temperature will drop a little bit. 80 tomorrow, upper 70s heading into the weekend, but by the end of it, we'll make it back up into the low 80s.
When your family feels protected under our roof, they're free to dream. And you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Customize what you pay with Drive My Way. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
If your bathroom feels outdated or even unsafe, West Shore Home can help you upgrade it with safety and style.
Whether you're focused on aging in place, improving accessibility, or simply making your space more modern, there's no better time to upgrade. With our Labor Day savings event, you can get a tub-to-shower conversion and save $3,500 off the entire project.
Those are some amazing savings, BJ, but what makes these renovations so valuable is truly the peace of mind that they give people.
Our tub-to-shower conversions are built for safety and comfort. We install low-threshold shower bases, anchored grab bars, built-in seating, and adjustable shower heads that make bathing easier for everyone, especially those with mobility concerns.
And I love that homeowners get to choose their own look. With your line of West Shore Home exclusive walls and hundreds of combinations of styles and accessories, you're not sacrificing that sleek, modern look for safety.
Absolutely. Our goal is to give people a beautiful new shower that's packed with safety features. It gives them something that's functional, but it also feels like home.
Now, this whole process starts with a free, no-obligation consultation.
There's absolutely no obligation to purchase anything. Have us out to review your options, and you can lock in a price that's good for an entire year.
West Shore Home is extending this offer this week only. Get $3,500 off your tub-to-shower conversion plus 12 months of no payments and no interest. Upgrade your bathroom while saving big. Call or visit westshorebath.com.
When your family feels protected under our roof, they're free to dream. And you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Customize what you pay with Drive My Way. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
If the wrongful death in your family has you in dire straits, it's time to call the 8s, 801-888-8888, or visit robertdebry.com.
In Money Watch this morning, some Americans could soon be greatly affected by President Trump's historic tariffs.
Those recent tariff hikes could increase the number of people living in poverty in the U.S. by nearly 1 million in the year 2026. That's according to a new analysis by the Budget Lab at Yale. That number also includes children. Tariff increases tend to impact low-income families greatly because they spend more of their paychecks on living expenses and often buy imported items which are subject to price increases. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, nearly 36 million people were living in poverty at the end of last year.
The U.S. is getting hit with an economic double whammy. While the cost of living in the U.S. keeps climbing, finding a job is getting more difficult. Consumer prices inched upward 0.4 of a point last month, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That pushed the annual inflation rate to 2.9%. Economists say the Trump administration's tariffs are a main factor in the increase. Meanwhile, first-time applications for unemployment benefits last week hit a high not seen since October 2021.
I'm Tina Giuliano here at Utah Valley University, where it's still a very tense scene as a manhunt still continues for that shooter that killed Charlie Kirk. And I'll have all the information on what they know so far coming up.
Bathfitter makes it easy to remodel your bath or shower.
We offer a beautiful selection of tubs and showers, or convert your tub to a shower.
Call now for a free estimate and receive up to $1,000 off or financing as low as $100 a month.
It's better with Bathfitter.
1 in 8 Utahns struggles with food insecurity. Smiths believes that through our Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program, we can change that. In addition to raising funds for those in need and coordinating efforts to eliminate food waste, Smiths and Fox 13 News recognize local organizations making similar efforts. By honoring a Zero Hunger hero each month, we hope to raise awareness and encourage everyone to join the fight to end hunger and food waste. If all of us work together, we get to zero.
When you're the oldest personal injury firm in Utah, you get to know a few faces. Our team at Robert J. DeBry has the experience needed to get you the compensation you deserve. Not sure you have a case? Dial the number with all the 8s.
Doing a routine MRI on the Tin Man is wrong. Underage drinking? That's very wrong and can harm your brain.
When your kids understand underage drinking is very wrong, 9 out of 10 don't drink.
Dollar Loan Center signature loans have interest that accrues daily. You only pay interest for the days you have the loan out. If you pay back your loan in 3 days, you only pay 3 days worth of interest. Other companies charge you 2 weeks up front, no matter what. We lend up to $5,000, and you can get your cash in person on our website or even over the phone with one of our helpful, real staff members.
Maria's here for one thing, maximum slide time. Brady, he's vibing like he discovered the band. Linda's locked into goat glamour shots. Grandma just knit her way to a blue ribbon. And yes, Carl, that's a cow made entirely of butter. So where's the one place they can see and do all of this? Nowhere but the fair. That's where. The Utah State Fair, September 4th through the 14th.
Bathfitter makes it easy to remodel your bath or shower.
We offer a beautiful selection of tubs and showers, or convert your tub to a shower.
Call now for a free estimate and receive up to $1,000 off or financing as low as $100 a month.
It's better with Bathfitter.
Max Roth and Robin O'Guinye. Weekdays at 4 only on Fox 13 News.
Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Eric, and his beautiful children. Fantastic people they are. We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on.
President Donald Trump there speaking a short time ago at a 9/11 memorial in Washington, D.C. at the Pentagon, honoring now the legacy of Charlie Kirk. This as police still combing the state. An urgent manhunt underway right now looking for the shooter who killed political activist Charlie Kirk.
And it's been less than 24 hours since that violence broke out on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, at the courtyard right in the center of campus. Now, we know that later today, Vice President J.D. Vance will be here in Utah, his plane on the way. We'll bring you that live when it does touch down at Salt Lake City International Airport. He's coming out here to pay his respects to Charlie Kirk.
We continue to have team coverage this morning. Darian DeBrule, she is standing by live at the Salt Lake City International Airport, awaiting the arrival of our Vice President. Maya Constantino is looking at rebuilding a sense of safety at schools this morning following a very frightening incident.
But first, let's get caught up on what happened and what we know so far today about the manhunt for this suspect. Our Tina Giuliano is tracking that angle of this story for us this morning. Tina, we heard from officials at about 7 o'clock this morning. What do they know? What are they honing in on right now as they try to find this person who committed this deadly act of violence?
Right now, it was a lot of information that we just learned just over the past couple of hours. And right now, they're definitely focusing on not only paying their respects, making sure that the community is doing well and recovering and mourning, but also that they're finding this suspect. So here's what I can tell you as of this press conference this morning, that they tracked where the suspect was when he entered, and they found through video, through their analysis, and through their technology, they figured out where he went. He jumped off the building, fled off campus, went into a neighborhood. He contacted the police and FBI investigators contacting neighbors, talking with neighbors. And right now they have good video of the person's face, but they're not releasing that at this time. They're still analyzing that and seeing what they can get through their technology right now. And so they're making sure that they are looking at all of the facts here. He looked like a college-age individual. But not only that, trying to make sure that all of the surrounding area is secure. And they said there's no threat to the public, right? And there is a targeted, it is a targeted attack against Kirk. We heard from the commissioner and the FBI agent a little bit earlier today. I want to play you some of that sound.
Last night I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel.
He said that this is not Utah. This is not what is supposed to happen here, not what they're known for. And so he just expressed his just extreme gratitude to the community for all the tips that they brought in, and also working together and all the work that investigators have done so far. Investigators are really on this. They found the weapon that is believed to be the weapon that shot and killed Charlie Kirk, and it is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. It was found in a wooden area. They secured that area and removed the weapon, found a handprint and a forearm imprint as well. So they're analyzing all of that evidence. But they also need the community's help. Any tips, videos, photos, anything at all that people can share with investigators is greatly appreciated. That website is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting. And so they're hoping for any information to try and catch whoever did this heinous attack yesterday. Sending it back to you guys.
Tina, thank you so much for the update. I do want to address the fact that some of our viewers may be asking, well, why don't we have a picture of this suspect? What if we see him? We could be help. The FBI says they do have very clear pictures from surveillance video of the person who they are currently searching for. However, to protect the integrity of the investigation, they say those images are not being released to the public or the media at this point.
So they're using their technology to match those images to a person and identity. So we'll see if that is released later on this afternoon. Of course, they said no tip is too small, that any can possibly help bring this person to justice. And they also said there's not a threat to the community, that this was a targeted attack, but when an attack like this happens, especially on a school campus, it just causes so much uneasiness for families and their children.
Yeah, certainly a heightened sense of concern when it comes to schools in the area around UVU. Fox 13 News reporter Maya Constantino joins us live to explain the increased security in place students and parents may see today. Maya.
Good morning. Yeah, there is a sense of kind of uncertainty and unease across the state, particularly for our students. Utah Valley University has canceled classes for the rest of the week. Brigham Young University and the University of Utah say they will have increased security on campus over the next few days. We spoke with many young college students who were there when the shooting happened and the intense emotions that came in the moments afterwards.
I don't feel safe anymore for the fact that someone can walk around campus with a gun in their backpack. It's kind of crazy.
You know, here in Utah Valley, like, who would have thought? And like she said, the fact that someone could just walk in with a gun and start shooting, like, that's a little bit jarring to know that, you know, we have to go to school next week. Like, that's crazy.
I think it creates many feelings of fear. And when something like this strikes so close to home, you really begin to question, even if you weren't there, oh, I know someone who was there, or I could have been there.
The Alpine School District placed 5 of its schools in secure status yesterday in the first few hours after the shooting. That means students were brought inside and the doors were locked. School officials tell us they'll have counselors to provide support for students today. Earlier this morning, we were with officials over with Lake Ridge Junior High School, and they told us that, you know, their students are shaken up, they're still processing, but they are ready to support wherever they can, and they're ready to help them heal. If you are struggling with your mental health after this tragic event, please call the state's crisis line at 899. It's a free resource, and they'll be there to help. Back to you.
Maya Constantino live this morning in Utah County. Thank you, Maya. I know it's a very difficult morning for so many of us. We are on top of all the major developments surrounding the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Stay with Fox 13 News both on air and online at fox13now.com.
And today might be a day to take a walk and kind of process your thoughts of what you're going through, what you're experiencing, what you're feeling today. Damon, right now I see a lot of sunshine outside on our cameras, so it might be the day to do that.
Hopefully that puts everybody in a better place. Certainly looking good out there this morning. A few clouds over the mountains, few cumulus clouds, but otherwise a sunny start in Salt Lake with mild temperatures, even though it's been a little bit cooler than it was earlier this week. This afternoon we're going to peak in the low to mid 80s. Topping our Day Planner Plus is that if you want to head out to the State Fair before it gets crowded this weekend, it's going to be a gorgeous day with mostly sunny skies, and again, those comfortable temperatures. Even at lunchtime, it'll be in the upper 70s. Later this afternoon, as I mentioned, we make it into low to mid 80s, and then mid 70s this evening. It'll be mild with mostly cloudy skies out ahead of a storm that'll slide across Utah tomorrow. It's weakening. Today, out ahead of it, the winds will be picking up again and will become gusty, but the strongest ones this time around, aside from any thunderstorms that might pop up in eastern Utah, will be over the south. Some of those winds might gust up into the mid 30s at times, so blowing dust, and of course with it being dry, that means an increase in fire danger, even though we don't have any warnings in effect right now for that, but still need to be very careful. Now, with that system coming in on Friday and Saturday, we'll have a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms. They're not very likely, but they are possible. Those would be late afternoon into the evening, but aside from that, partly cloudy, dropping near 80 tomorrow, upper 70s on Saturday, which isn't too bad for this time of year, but then by the end of the weekend, we start to warm up again. We'll let you know what the next 7 days look like coming up in the full forecast.
Fox 13 News is part of the Scripps News Group. News teams from across the country.
Reporting in Detroit,
in Phoenix, in Tampa.
Connecting together to cover what's important to you. From your neighborhood.
Reporting from Park City.
To the nation.
For the impacts we'll see here in Utah, we now go to Scripps News Group reporter Jill St. George.
Big developments out of Washington today.
Rely on the reporting power of the Scripps News Group here on Fox 13 News.
For no matter what crosses your path, get coverage confidence with AAA Insurance.
FanX Salt Lake. The once-a-year event is back. FanX is coming your way September 25th through the 27th. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. FanX is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at FanXSaltLake.com.
At West Shore Home, we're making it easy to completely refresh your bathroom with our buy one, get one sales event. Buy a full bathroom remodel, get a tub to shower conversion in another bathroom for free. Yep, you heard that right. Get a fresh modern upgrade to your main bathroom and eliminate that outdated, hard to clean tile or old fiberglass unit for free. For more information, visit westshorebath.com or call 888-4WESTSHORE to lock in those savings. That's westshorebath.com for buy one, get one savings from West Shore Home.
Papa Murphy's dares you to turn up the sweet and the heat with 3 bold takes on our ultimate pepperoni. Start with 2 kinds of pepperoni, then choose Mike's Hot Honey or Mike's Extra Hot Honey for a heat-seeking kick. 3 bold pizzas, each just $9.99. Only at Papa Murphy's.
My name is Ariel, and I was in a car accident. Siegfried and Jensen, they decided to take my case and decided to go and protect me as a person. And I definitely recommend them.
Here for you 24/7.
Siegfried and Jensen took care of me, and they'll take care of you too.
For refreshingly good service, get coverage confidence with AAA Insurance.
I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd. Very, very big.
That was President Donald Trump speaking there earlier this morning from Washington, D.C. at the Pentagon, the site of a 9/11 memorial this morning, where the president was speaking in the wake of the tragic death of Charlie Kirk.
Now, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, is expected to arrive in Utah sometime either late this morning or early in the afternoon. We have a crew out at the airport. It's our Darian DeBrule. She is out there live right now near the runway at Salt Lake State International Airport. So, Darian, what do we know about his arrival and potential visit here?
Well, we know the Vice President is expected to arrive at Salt Lake City International Airport within the next several hours. We don't know an exact time, and we also don't know if he will be doing any public engagement or speaking opportunities. But what I can tell you is throughout the morning, this airport has gotten progressively busier. As you can see behind us, there are now trucks and cars, as well as a staircase that has been put up. But again, this is an active runway, so they could be preparing for any plane that could fly in to this airport here. As far as what we know about the Vice President's relationship with Charlie Kirk, we know yesterday he posted on X calling Charlie a true friend, and we know that he is coming to Utah to pay respects to Charlie and his family. Again, we don't know the exact time on the Air Force 2 arrival, but we do know that the Vice President will be coming to Utah again, or here today. And again, we don't know about any public engagements or speaking opportunities, but we know that he will be here. Earlier today, we did see people in black suits and black sunglasses walking around this area with what we believe are airport officials. However, again, this is an active runway and there are other planes that fly into here, so we don't know exactly if they were here for the Vice President's arrival, but those are just things that we have been seeing throughout the morning. Of course, we're going to keep you updated as soon as we know an arrival time, and again, if there will be any public speaking or engagement opportunities. We'll send it back to you guys.
Darian, thank you so much. Take a look at this. Former President Barack Obama saying on X, quote, "We don't yet know what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family, especially his wife, Erica, and their 2 young children."
And Democrats on the national level and also here in Utah condemning the violence. Former President Joe Biden said on X, quote, There is no place in our country for this kind of violence. It must end now. Jill and I are praying for Charlie Kirk's family and loved ones. And here at Fox 13 News, we're working around the clock to bring you the latest information as it develops on this story. We'll be following this story both on air and online to bring you those new developments as soon as they come in.
We're coming up on 9:50 on Thursday morning, and luckily after some gusty winds yesterday and even a few thunderstorms popping up, it's been off to a quiet start and a very mild one, even though temperatures have been cooler than 24 hours ago. But in Salt Lake, we have made it up to 71. It's in the upper 70s right now in Tooele, and after a chilly start, you've made it up near 60 degrees in Park City. In fact, you can see that most valleys are hovering in the 60s and 70s right now. So looking and feeling pretty comfortable heading out the door. And this afternoon, mostly sunny in Salt Lake with a breeze out of the southwest and our temperature climbing up to 84. That's a little cooler than what it was earlier this week, but it is pretty close to average for this time of year. And you can see by the regional forecasts that a lot of temperatures along the Wasatch Front and other northern valleys will be hovering pretty close to that. A little cooler at Park City, but after kind of a chilly morning, it will be 74 this afternoon, while at Alto you make it up into the mid-60s. Now we'll have a slight chance of some thunderstorms late in the day, mainly along and over the higher terrain. Farther south, sunny in central Utah, not as windy as yesterday, even though you'll get some out of the southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour and possibly gusting higher than that. But the stronger winds look like they'll be over the eastern and southern part of the state, especially if any thunderstorms develop, and those winds might gust up near 60 miles per hour. There could also be the possibility of some rain out of some of those storms, and that's why flash flood potential is possible today at Arches, Canyonlands, as well as Natural Bridges and San Rafael Swell. So if you have outdoor plans in that part of the state, definitely need to keep an eye on things. And we could get those isolated thunderstorms over the southeast corner of the state with a high of 80 in Blanding, but in the southwest, it'll be mostly sunny. And while it will be very warm, it's not too hot in St. George. Your temperature is going to be climbing up near 90 this afternoon, only dropping a couple degrees lower than that heading into the weekend. And then next week, looking good, sunny and starting to warm back up, but only up into the mid-90s by Wednesday. That's why people like September. You hang on to that warm weather and it doesn't get uncomfortably hot. Now in the north, we're going to continue to cool off next couple days as that slow-moving storm moves in. It's weakening though, so just bring a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms before we dry out at the end of the weekend. And after dropping into the upper 70s on Saturday, we'll make it up to 83 by Sunday and Monday.
At Smith's, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Smith's shoppers never compromise. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
Time's running out to save up to $7,200 and lock in payments as low as $190 a month on a new HVAC system from Yes Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. Act now. Federal tax credits expire after December. Visit theyesmancan.com today.
Turn everyday spending into an extraordinary escape. Shop with any Mountain America credit or debit card for a chance to win a $5,000 vacation voucher. Simply tap, insert, swipe, or click checkout to be entered to win, now until October 31st. Use any card, win any trip at Mountain America Credit Union.
Where does confidence come from? It's not from within. It must be pursued. Confidence is not a mindset. It's an achievement. In the GMC Sierra HD AT4X. Get 5.9% APR for 84 months on 2025 Sierra heavy-duty models. That's over $4,000 in average finance savings.
What's my favorite thing about the fall season?
I would probably say the warmth of a home becomes even more enhanced. You start putting layers on, not only on your body, but on your furniture, whether it be the colors, the smells, things like leather, velvet, patterns, all of that. Those are those textures and that warmth that makes you feel like, wow, even your home can come alive in the fall. And that's what's so nice, is that the indoors become even more comfortable because you're spending more time there. Fall is here at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
With McValue at McDonald's, get deals that keep the party going.
Buy one hot and spicy McChicken, add another for only $1.
At Smith's, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Smith's shoppers never compromise. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
The only thing that could stop you was a distracted driver. Now, your attorney matters.
We have breaking news. These photos just into the Fox 13 newsroom. Take a good look. This is what DPS is calling the person of interest in the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
And there are two separate photos here. They appear to show a man wearing that dark black t-shirt, those sunglasses, a hat as well. He appears to be in a hallway here. That first photo may have been near a stairwell. Again, DPS saying this person is a person of interest, and they're asking for the public's help in identifying this person and their involvement in the shooting yesterday at Utah Valley University. And these came out just
moments ago. Truly, you're seeing them for the very first time with us as our producer there is zooming in on the picture. Take a good look. While you're looking at this photo, I want to remind everyone, if you know anything about the person on your screen, if you have video, pictures, if you have an eyewitness statement that you need to talk to or tell the FBI about, you can do so via their website. They have set up a digital website. It's fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting. They also have a phone number you can call. It's 1-800-CALL-FBI, CALL-FBI.
And again, Utah DPS just released these images moments ago this morning of what they're calling a person of interest. You can see a stairwell right there in the wider shot as this person with that black t-shirt and sunglasses and hat makes his way up a staircase, it appears here. Looks like an American flag on his shirt with some kind of an image in front of the flag, possibly an eagle. But this is a person of interest that DPS needs help identifying right now.
An urgent manhunt is underway right now in the state of Utah looking for this suspect. What we do know, it was confirmed to us by that press conference earlier this morning that 11:52 yesterday, that suspect entered the UVU campus, went up through a stairwell onto the roof of a building, shot at Charlie Kirk, then jumped off the building and fled into a nearby neighborhood surrounding the Utah Valley University campus.
And again, those video or that photo, the photos we saw, most likely a screen capture from surveillance video that DPS earlier this morning said they had good video of the person of interest. And this appears they want to identify this person that we're seeing right now and their involvement in the shooting yesterday.
Also earlier this morning, the DPS commissioner said the person they are looking for blended in very well with a college atmosphere, also saying that they believe that they are of college age. But there is the person of interest police are looking for desperately right now.
And stay with Fox 13 News, both on air and online. So you'll be live at midday at 11 a.m. as we continue to follow this story.
Appliances from RC Willey complete a kitchen. So do new bar stools, a dining room table, and chairs. Kitchen and dining needs are covered here, even if it's for takeout.
When weather strikes, the Fox 13 Big O Tires Weather Beast is there, on the scene, in the elements, with up-to-the-minute reports as conditions happen, where conditions happen. The Fox 13 Big O Tires Weather Beast, only on Fox 13 News.
Dear crew, with an adult-sized third row, everyone's welcome. From sports fans and eco buffs to movie fans. Slip in, stretch out, and let's go. Toyota.
Right now, lease RAV4 for just $299 per month, or Grand Highlander for $419 per month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Having a clown car as a rideshare is wrong.
Underage drinking, that's very wrong. It can harm your decision making.
When your kids understand underage drinking is very wrong, 9 out of 10 don't drink.
Paris RV is family owned and operated.
We grew up RVing and now we work here too.
Paris RV has 5 bunkhouse RVs.
Your choice, $13,995, $159 per month, 0 down.
Make every weekend a vacation in an RV from Paris RV.
GDU's Cool School is back. To nominate your school for Cool School of the Week, send an email to gooddayutah@fox13now.com. Then catch the Cool School of the Week Thursdays from 7 to 10 a.m. on Good Day Utah, sponsored by Granite Credit Union.
A sectional from RC Willey will zhuzh up your home. So will the perfect rug, coffee table, and accent chair. Get it all here, except for the dog.
It's live with Kelly and Mark. Today, actor and author Zasha Mammoth. Plus, a chat with award-winning talk show host Tamron Hall. Also, the co-hosts put on their dancing shoes as we continue our Do It Week. All next on Live.